Hi everybody and welcome to the new version of Interview Me. This is the first time we've done it on Ustream, and this week my special guest is Stephen and Mallory from Stephenvlogs and Stephenplays and Ninten and whatever,
And some other stuff.
whatever else. If you guys haven't heard the show before, what's going to happen is I'm going to ask them several sections of questions, and then you guys get to do your fan questions, and you guys get to send in, and they'll answer them live for you guys. So the first section, well, I'll first of all say, how are you two, by the way?
We're good.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Can't complain. Feeling good.
Alright. Well, our first section is Stephenplays. How long have you been doing Let's Plays for, Stephen?
I started doing my Let's Play channel, I think it was early February last year. So I haven't been doing them all that long. In fact, I made the channel early February, but I didn't actually post anything till the end of February. And it was a game. On the vlog, I said, I'm not going to tell you what the channel was called, but if you can find the channel and subscribe to it, then I'll know that you subscribed to it and you can feel like a winner. So I think there were like 3 people that found it. So last year, February, just 11 months ago, I guess. Oh, and we should probably point out that there is no video. There's not supposed to be video. Because everyone's like, there's a bunch of people that are saying
it's
that
audio.
they can't see us. Yeah, this isn't this is audio. Some people are saying they can't hear anything. That's not our fault.
Refresh. Mallory, how long have you been involved with Stephenplays?
Since when did we start my Minecraft with you?
It was episode 27 of Minecraft.
When was that though?
I can actually tell you. I can tell you the day. It was, let's see, Minecraft 27. Mallory started July 4th.
Okay.
July 4th, 2011 was Mallory's first day on the job.
You two have done several projects together. What has been your favorite project that you've done together?
I don't know. I've really enjoyed Minecraft. I think Minecraft has been a lot of fun because it is completely random. You don't know what's going to happen. So that, I mean, that's fun. But I think I also really enjoyed Donkey Kong Country. I think that I was pleasantly surprised through a lot of that with how good Mallory did at a game that she did not grow up with, and also how bad I sucked at it. So
I think I liked Portal 2 co-op best.
What is the funniest moment that you've had, either together or separate?
I think it was pretty funny whenever Mal fell in the lava, or maybe it was sad. Whenever we were playing Minecraft and we're digging down next to lava, and I turn around and a creeper is there, and I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then the creeper explodes and puts her right into the lava. She had all the diamond stuff, and I'm like, man. And I think it was probably from then on out is whenever I requested that I carry at least a majority of the diamonds.
And iron and all valuables.
Yeah. She's just, I'm not going to say that she's reckless, but occasionally she tends to just walk off of cliffs. She has a track record of this, so.
I'm not scared.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes that equals death. So.
Stephen, you are currently working on a blind Let's Play of Skyrim.
Yep.
How's it going, and why did you choose Skyrim?
I chose Skyrim because it's a game I wanted to play. When Skyrim came out, I was excited for it, and I was. Skyrim is a game that is really good for doing a blind LP of, just because it's kind of hard to mess up. I mean, it's not like doing a blind Let's Play of a Zelda game where you can go into a dungeon and have no idea what you're supposed to do and waste a lot of time. On Skyrim, you can always pretty much be doing something. So it kind of works for a blind LP. And as for how it's going, I think it's going fantastic. And the reason is, when Skyrim came out, there were about 4 bajillion Skyrim LPs, And what people do generally, especially bigger channels, is they will rush through a game and get the game done and then just start putting it online. So a lot of people had Skyrim done in like a month, and the way I decided to do it was a little different. I'm actually doing one episode at a time. So this is the first time I've ever done what I call putting the Let's Back in Let's Play, where I do an episode and I wait about 2 days for people to actually leave comments on that episode, and then I use their feedback and I use that to create the next episode. So people can actually be very, very involved with how the LP is going. If they suggest I need particular equipment, or if they want me to explore a particular place, I can actually go do that. And I think it's one of the most successful Let's Plays so far. So it also brought about Argyle, who is the best character ever.
You two are working on a game together, which is going to come to an end soon, called Halo Anniversary. How did you guys choose that game to do together?
I didn't get to pick.
Mallory has absolutely no say in what I force her to play. I chose Halo because it was a game that I wanted to do. I actually wanted to do the original Halo because I thought it had a lot of importance to video games. A lot of people hate Halo, and that's fine. You don't have to like Halo. A lot of people hate Call of Duty more than Halo, but you should be aware that Halo had a lot to do with some of the modern stuff that's available to video games in terms of especially online multiplayer for consoles. Halo revolutionized first-person shooters, at least for the console, and I don't know. I just thought it would be a good game to do. And whenever I found out they were doing the anniversary edition and remastering it, I thought that would be really nice to do. So it came out, and I told Mal we were doing it because she had never actually played Halo 1. She played Halo 3.
I've played them all in co-op, or not co-op,
Multiplayer.
multiplayer, but I haven't ever played them in
The story.
except 3.
So the one thing I did is I actually didn't play through Halo to like get used to it again. Like I hadn't played whenever we played through Halo Anniversary. I hadn't played Halo since I was about 15. So I had kind of remembered the story, but it was still somewhat new, and I had completely forgotten how bad level design was. Wow, in fact I just got a comment that said I complained too much during the LP because every episode I just talk about how bad the level design is, but it's true. Halo is terrible level design. Anyway, but yeah, it was just kind of a game I thought everyone should appreciate and understand that it's not just this casual game that douchebags play. That everyone can enjoy Halo, and it actually is really important to video games. So that's probably my best reason.
You guys are also working together on Minecraft. Is there a moment that really pops out to you as being one of your favorite moments?
My favorite moment actually was when I read the news for 1.1, which just came out, that you can enchant bows. I was excited about that. I guess it's not my favorite moment, but I think one of the most exciting times was whenever Minecraft switched over to 1.8, because in 1.8 a lot happened. The structure of how seeds were generated was changing. They added villages and villagers. They added enchantments, I think, in 1.8. So new mobs. Just 1.8 was a huge change. They added mine shafts, and 1.8
I love mine shafts.
Yeah, 1.8 came at a good time just because our Let's Play isn't focused on creative; it's focused on exploration, and for them to add this huge content pack for exploration was huge for us because it's like, okay, great, we're running out of stuff to do in the Let's Play. Now there's a lot more stuff to do. So it actually gave us a lot of stuff that we could show on video.
So is that what made you want to choose it? Because a lot of people would say Minecraft is kind of a hard game to do like a actual Let's Play on.
I mean, I started doing Minecraft when it was in 1.5, which was a good deal before 1.8 came out. I think, a lot of people probably don't like Minecraft because it's really hard to commentate for, because you can't you have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, you can't plan on anything. You can't, if you're playing a Mario game or Zelda game, you can practice that dungeon and you can write yourself a script of what's going to happen, and you can't do that in Minecraft. That's actually one of the reasons I like doing Minecraft, is because I don't really have a hard time coming up with commentary off the top of my head, and so it's easier than other games because you literally can't prepare, so you don't have to even bother preparing because you can't. Um, and it's just always fresh. It's always, you have no idea what's going to happen. It's always a surprise to you. So, if a creeper falls on your head, it's not, this boss that you were going to fight in this dungeon that you can prepare for. It's like the creeper actually scared the crap out of you, and your emotion and your response is actually really real. So I think it's one of the reasons I really like Minecraft. I'm kind of sad it's ending, but at the same time, at 100 episodes, I'm I'm ready for it to be over.
So in essence, it's kind of a blind LP in a way, even though you've played it
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, Minecraft is definitely considered blind because I mean, you can start an episode, and whenever me and Mal start the episodes, I say, okay, here's what we're going to try to accomplish this episode. But in the course of that, you have no idea what's going to happen. Something could go completely opposite. And even if you say we're going to explore this cave, that's as far as you go. I mean, you're going to explore that cave. You have no idea what's going to happen. You can't reload saves, which is another thing that's always worried me, because when you start playing, you start recording and you go. You can't stop and restart. So we've been lucky in that respect. We haven't ever had a huge situation where we needed to like do something over.
How do you choose which games you're going to LP by yourself?
Well, first we come up with a list of games that we want to do. Usually, as I said earlier, I come up with the list. Mallory gives me stuff that she wants to do too. For example, she wants to do Sonic 2, and that's actually going to be the first LP that she spearheads. It's not going to be just her; it's going to be me as well. But if you're familiar with how Sonic 2 works, the second player does nothing.
You can do something,
They,
but you're mostly worthless.
they're terribly worthless. I get to play as Tails and do pretty much nothing. But I pretty much just make a list of games I want to do, and if they have co-op available to them, then we're gonna do them co-op. Like Kirby Superstar is a really great co-op game, so I want to do that with Mao. And another actual a rule that is unspoken is that there always has to be one Let's Play going on that's just me, and one Let's Play going on that's me and her. As long as there's one of each, then the third Let's Play can be whatever. It doesn't really matter either one. But yeah, I just make a list, and if they're just a single player game, then I just plan to do that. Like Pokemon's coming up closer to this summer, and that's a game that people have been clamoring for me to do for a long time. They always want me to do Pokemon, and I haven't really been into it, but I finally decided I was gonna give in and do it because I came up with some cool ideas. So yeah, if it's a co-op game, we do co-op. Otherwise, I do it. That's pretty much it.
What was each of your first games?
Well, the Genesis was my first system, and Sonic 2 came with it.
So that was your first game.
Mm-hmm.
My first game, man, I'm sitting at Google so I can try and figure it out. It's a tank game for I think it's called Iron Tank. Yeah, Iron Tank. Iron Tank for NES was my first video game that I ever owned. The first one I ever played was probably Super Mario Brothers or something. Iron Tank is not very good, I don't think, but as a kid, it was really hard, and I tried, and I guess you're not very good at video games when you're 2.
Mallory already answered this, what her first game system was. But Stephen, what was yours?
My first game system was the NES, and I got that when I was 2, which is really young for video games. But yeah, I had NES, and then that one broke, and I got another NES, and then Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, PS2, Xbox, and then all of the ones this.
Handhelds.
Yeah.
What happened to your old NES?
I sold it.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where that disappeared to.
I really wanted a Super Nintendo, and my parents said that I needed to sell my original Nintendo and the games, and I would be able to. And if I did that, they would help me with the money to get the Super Nintendo or something. In retrospect, it doesn't make any sense because I get it for Christmas. So maybe I gave them the money and told them to use it to for Santa or something. I don't know.
Your mom's listening.
Yeah,
She
my
can
mom.
tell you
I think
later.
my mom said she was going to listen into this. So hi, Mom. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for that Super Nintendo. You put me on the road to video game stardom or whatever.
I think this is the first time I've ever had somebody's parent come listen to that.
My mom is really great. She's very involved in all the content and stuff that we make. She doesn't watch the LPs. I take that back. She just started watching the LPs. She's watching the Amnesia LP, Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Oh
That's
no.
she because Mallory was telling her about it, and she said Mallory was saying that it's the first and only LP where I showed myself, and you can actually watch me get scared and stuff. And Mom was like, "Well, I'm gonna watch that," so I bookmarked it for her. And I don't know what episode she's on. I think she's on like the fourth or fifth episode. So I think she made it to Deathfish, which is pretty exciting because Deathfish is hilarious.
What is your favorite game series or game?
My favorite game is Earthbound, and I can't say that that's my favorite series. I don't think that's fair, just because
You haven't beaten Mother 1?
I've never beaten Mother 1, which is Earthbound's prequel, and I've beaten Mother 3 several times,
But you haven't in English.
yeah, oh man. I've beat Mother 3 twice in Japanese, and I've beaten it right to the very end of the game in English, but I haven't beaten the game. And I'm not going to say anything about the game because that's one of those really spoilerific games that no one wants to hear about, so but as my favorite game series, I don't know if I have one. I really like the Donkey Kong Country series, except 3. 3 is an abomination. And Donkey Kong 64 doesn't have country in it, so it gets a pass. So, I don't know. And Donkey Kong Country Returns was really good. So the Donkey Kong Country series, maybe, if we get to skip 3. What's your favorite game, Mal? Yours is,
The game itself?
yeah, Mother 3.
I'd probably say Mother 3. But I really didn't like Mother 1, so I can't call it a series to like the best.
You like the Sonic series?
No, I can't
Sonic
say
and
that
the Black
either.
Knight, Mal.
Because of the terribleness Sonic Team has put out.
I'm pretty sure that after they made most of the 2D Sonics, they all just got drunk and high and smashed their faces into the wall and made games for several years. And except they came up for air when they made Sonic Heroes. I haven't played Sonic Heroes personally, but everyone tells me that that's one of the redeeming games where it was
So
not
is Sonic Shuffle.
Sonic Shuffle.
It's like the Mario Party of Sonic.
Oh.
But most of the games I like are one game title, no series.
Who is your inspiration to start doing LPs?
Well, I don't know if I have a real inspiration. I had talked to Chug. I've been talking to Chugga Conner for a long time. We've been friends for, I guess, going on about 7 years, and I I was talking to him when he was starting up his channel and when he was getting into stuff because he actually didn't know how to hook things up. He didn't understand what he needed and how to hook things up to, record what he needed. So he actually always came to me for advice on how to hook things up, which was interesting. And so I watched his channel grow over the years, and I remember, watching it, and then he hit 100,000. It's like, holy crap, he's because I had YouTube back then too. I had a YouTube account in 2005, and I watched him grow big, and near the end of 2010, I started really considering making a Let's Play channel. Originally, it was going to be Ninten does Let's Plays. I'm really glad I decided not to do that. But I was going to do a Let's Play channel, and I just started talking to Chugga about it. And obviously at that point he had been doing it for several years, and he gave me some tips and stuff. So I don't know if he was my inspiration exactly, but he definitely was probably the reason I really got started. It's not that I watched his Let's Plays and was like, I want to do Let's Plays now. It was just I saw how much success he had had doing Let's Plays, and it was one of those things where I was like, I can do that. So I think that was probably it. And I watch his stuff from time to time, and he watches my stuff from time to time. So I don't think either of us are like super. I don't want to say that we're not super fans of each other because we're good friends. It's just that I don't think we spend a whole lot of time watching each other's stuff. But to be fair, I don't watch a whole lot of Let's Plays or content on YouTube or movies or TV. Really don't watch content very often.
How do you decide what goes into your memorable moments?
I don't actually. The fans completely decide that. Um,
There's times when we know what it's going to be.
yeah, there's times when we're done recording where we can barely finish recording where I turn to Mal. We're just both crying, laughing because of something that somebody said or something that happened, and we know that it's going to be a memorable moments. And sometimes I'll go ahead and make it a memorable moments and actually export it as a separate file, just because I know people are going to request it. But basically, what happens is people post timestamps in the comments, and when you click the timestamp, it actually shows you in the video, what they're referencing, and everything is 100% from the fans. Whenever I get comments, I look for comments that have timestamps, and if they have a timestamp, I click it. If it's awesome, I write it down in a text file, and then every week or two, I go through and I try to make all those text files into actual separate video files, and there are so many right now. We've been really considering going to two memorable moments a week, or just like, I don't know, just kind of releasing them all the time or something, because there's actually way too many, and they're not really getting a chance to shine. So I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
This last question of the section has to do with one of your memorable moments. What are your feelings about the death of Fred and Bill?
Fred and Bill. Fred especially. Fred was my friend, and I just wanted to have tea time, and I was inviting him into my home. I was already a little emotional because I had lost a race that I should have won, and Mallory beat my friend to death in our own home. Didn't even clean up. I
I have
decided.
a right to defend myself
I thought it was so funny how
against the bed intruders.
I let the zombie into the house, and I'm after someone hits a zombie, or any enemy really. If another person is there, it doesn't matter if they're there or not. So like I can actually touch the zombie and it won't hurt me. So I thought that was great because I'm actually like rubbing up against this zombie, and I'm like, "Come on, Fred, you're my buddy." And then he only has eyes for Mallory to kill her. So that was that was after we finished recording that and we were done. We were laughing so hard. And I said that's going to be the most memorable moment for Minecraft ever because it was just so funny.
What made you want to start doing Stephenvlogs?
um, I originally started vlogging. My vlog started November 2009, and the reason I started it, and I remember going up to Alex and telling him this. I ran up to Alex. I was like, "Dude, Alex, like people are doing these vlogs on YouTube, but they're not sitting in their chair in front of a computer. It's like they're actually going places and doing stuff." I was like, "I could do that. Do you think I could do that?" And he was like, "No." He said, "You're gonna do it for 2 weeks and you'll be done." So at that point, it was one of those things I wanted to start it to prove it to him that I could do it longer than 2 weeks. I don't know. That's probably the main reason I started, just kind of for fun and to see if I could do it. And I guess I'm still doing it.
Well, you were filming with the Sony for a while instead of the flip.
Oh man, gosh, those were dark days indeed. I had when I first started vlogging, the only thing I had was a Canon HV20, which is like a real camera. It's a HD camera. It's pretty big, and it wouldn't fit in your pocket, so I kept it in a bag. This giant bag, pretty much looks like a purse. So for the first week or so before I had the flip, I carried around this giant purse everywhere I went. And when something would happen, I would get out this huge camcorder and film myself. And my parents thought I was crazy. The quality was good, but it was not very convenient. So I think it was like day 7 or something. I finally bought the flip.
Is it weird or cool to see yourself from a while ago, like 2 years ago, and like see how far you've come?
I actually had one of those weird moments the other day whenever I actually frequently rewatch old vlogs, and the way I do it is I just type in a random number, and the vlog will pop up for that day, so I can just see kind of randomly what happened that day. And I stumbled upon the I Am Dan vlog, which is a fan favorite where we prank Dan, or I had been pranking Dan for like 7 weeks, and I had been pranking Alex really, and I made him think that I was Dan, and I had been talking to him every night for 7 weeks. And one of the interesting things is in that vlog it says I had reached 100 subscribers, and that was day 50 or 49 or something. And I just thought that was really cool. It was like because now I'm at 4,000 something, and one of the big things in the vlog early on was that we were trying to have more subscribers than days, and it got to the point in one of the 200 areas where it was like day 200 something, where we almost had more days than subscribers. And it was like this big thing. It was like, oh man, we got to try and get more subscribers so we can keep more subscribers than days, because that was like a joke thing. And as of this point, we've never had more uh, days than subscribers. And I think now we're probably set, because I don't know if I'll be vlogging for 4,000 days. I think that's kind of a long time.
I hear commercial. Anybody else hear commercial?
No?
I didn't I just muted the Ustream thing. Actually, I don't even have it open. I just have the chat open, so I don't have to listen to Mitt Romney commercials. I mean, Mitt Romney really wants me to vote for him. He follows me around no matter what website I'm at. It's crazy.
How has your lives changed since starting the vlog?
Well, my what I've done hasn't really changed all that much. It's I mean, my life has changed because of the vlog, but honestly, not all that much. The biggest difference is that now I have a camera and I talk to it, and I respond to people online. I guess I mean obviously it's changed because this is now what I'm doing for a living, and that's different. So I mean, in that sense, it's changed my life because I'm doing it for a living. But as far as like myself changing or what we do change, I mean, that's not really any different. Same thing with video games. I mean, we're both big gamers. We play video games. The only difference is now we play video games and put it on the internet. So, I mean, I'd say that not too much has changed. We're about the same as we were before we started. The difference is now we get to share our lives with people, so that's pretty exciting.
Mallory, what has been your favorite moment of Stephenvlogs?
Well, I was really looking forward to the I Am Dan video when it came out. Because I was there on Skype and on AIM with Steven every night, being like, well, it's almost midnight. I guess it's time to get on Dan's account and message Alex. Because it was sort of both of our ideas. We were like, oh, we have Dan's login. What can we do with this? So I was really waiting for the day when it came out and I could see it. Because I wasn't around. I was in Wisconsin.
How do you choose? Is it the same as how you choose memorable moments? What's the best of Stephenvlogs?
That's also fan created. In fact, I just had a vlog whenever I was at home over Christmas break asking people to submit stuff, and it's still on my to-do list to get the playlist updated. So there's probably people that have been wondering about that, like why hasn't it been updated? It's on my to-do list, and as soon as I can, I'm gonna update it because it hasn't been updated since like the day 400s or something. But basically, I just make a video and ask people to submit days that they really enjoyed, and then they comment. And I don't just automatically use them. I go check them out just to make sure that someone's not just shouting a crazy day. But if days, especially if days are repeated, like if there's several people who are like, oh, you have to use this day, then I usually just do it because obviously people really enjoyed it for whatever reasons. And sometimes it's really weird because sometimes it's like the entire day was good, like the day I proposed to Mal or the day we get married and stuff like that. But then other times it's like really wacky stuff. Like when we went to Carowinds, not too recently. There's a vlog where we go to Carowinds, and for whatever reason, don't ask me why, I don't know. I decided that almost every time my dad is on camera, I would take anything he said, pause the video, and have this big flaming background behind him, and then I sing into the camera over a crazy rock guitar, and I repeat what he says. I have no idea why I do that. It's terribly confusing.
I don't know why you do things either.
But I mean, sometimes those are people's favorites because just these wacky things. So, but the fans always get to choose that stuff. So
someone says, "What do you think?"
Are you what?
There's two chats. I don't know what Ustream's trying to pull, but there's like the social stream.
Oh, there's
and then
two
there's
chats.
A chat.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. My mind is blown. I had no idea there was two chats. I had clicked social stream. I had no idea there was a chat. Did the stuff in the social stream show up in chat as well?
No.
No.
What the heck? That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
Ustream, you are a terrible company. Why would you make two chats? That doesn't make any sense. My chat doesn't like to load, apparently. Okay, well, I'm going to open up this window again so I can see both of them at the same time.
What do you guys say to someone who wanted to start vlogging?
Do it. um, it's been fun. If you're going to start vlogging, set realistic goals for yourself. Don't be like, I'm going to be a daily vlogger. I mean, you can, but know your limits, know what it is you're doing, and I mean, if you're really busy, if you have, uh, a full-time job and also you're doing this other stuff and also you have school. I mean, if you're doing a lot of stuff, then try to be realistic with yourself. There's been a lot of people who wanted to start vlogs and asked me what to do, and I said, if you're busy, try doing something smaller. And one time Alex was on the vlog and he made the joke that he was going to start this trend called micro vlogging, and it was going to be recording 5 seconds a day and then releasing them every month. Well, someone who watches Phase on Chaos, he actually took that to heart and he did something really similar. He didn't do 5 seconds a day, but he just does really small snippets every day, and he releases a vlog at the end of the month. And the vlog's only like 5 to 10 minutes long, but it's actually a snapshot of his entire month. And I haven't checked it out recently, but last time I had checked, he had done like 8 months or something. So he had been, doing it. But some people release vlogs every week.
There's a friend of ours who tried doing a daily vlog, and he's now doing like little clips whenever
Yeah,
they're
now
interesting.
now he does weekly vlogs. He records every day and releases them once a week.
No, he
Because
stopped doing that.
Oh, he did?
He's doing the interesting thing where he films whatever's interesting and then just uploads that as the entire vlog.
Okay. I mean, so there's a lot of ways to do it, but do it for yourself, definitely. Don't do it to become famous or anything like that because, quite honestly, vlogging is not a good way to break into YouTube at all. I mean, there are a few big vloggers like Shay Carl and who's the CTFXC, and there's a few other people,
Charles.
and they kind of have control of the market. It's really hard to like become like a big vlogger. You can't. I don't know if that would be that you can't do that for a living. Don't assume that you can like try to do that for a living. The only reason I'm doing YouTube is because I have several channels that can all kind of combine into making it work. If I was just doing vlogging, there's no way it would work. Even I mean with the current audience. So you have to be huge to make it work if you're a vlogger, and do it for fun, especially because you can actually look back on things and you'll really appreciate that you filmed it. And if you even if you want to do something private, even if it's just going to be for you and a few people, I mean, put it on YouTube and put it unlisted or something so you can go back and find it later. So, I mean, I would encourage people to do it because it's really nice. I mean, pictures are nice and keeping a journal is nice, but it's so cool to go back and actually watch yourself in motion. So, I would highly advise anyone to consider doing a vlog in the future.
And also, I'll explain who I am before we go to the last section, because everybody's like, "Who is this person?" My name's Erin, and I have a show. It used to be on TalkShoe, but certain people, not to be named, Stephen, has pulled me away from TalkShoe. I've started doing my channel on here, so yeah.
And you have interviewed pretty big people in the past. She's interviewed Nintendo Capri Sun, Lucajin. Those are the two biggest names, right?
Yeah, also like P-Call and...
Yeah, NCS is a pretty big name, so she's interviewed NCS, and then now you have everyone's attention. Everyone's like, oh, okay, great.
Now to the last section before you guys can start asking your questions. It's the Ninten Daily Peck and Steven's Basement section.
Everything else, the
It's
rest
everything
of the
else.
scum of the universe. Okay.
Again, you have Ninten. What made you want to start doing that?
I think he hit his head on a brick wall somewhere.
I've suffered many injuries. Well, Ninten was born from Lloyd's Are Not Christmas, which was born from Fobbies Are Borns, which was born from my love of Earthbound. So it's kind of like we have a little hierarchy of Earthbound love going on. Back in 2007, I approached my buddy Ben Carignan, which I'll pronounce it like that because I think it's more fun. Benjamin Carignan, who was running a radio show on Starman.net, which is the website me and Mal met. And I said, hey, it was actually his like second week that he had been on. It was only his second show. I was like, hey, dude, I got this idea. Let's start a radio show where it's just funny moments from Earthbound. And he was like, okay, that sounds good. So we decided to do this show, and we called it Fobbies Are Born, and it went for an entire year. And right before it ended, Fobbies Are Born followed Mother 2, which is Earthbound. And a lot of the fans were like, man, you should do Mother 1. It'd be fantastic. So we decided that halfway through finishing up Fobbies Are Born, we would start doing Lloyd's Are Not Christmas.
Actually, you did it because you were visiting me and couldn't
Yeah,
write or
that's the
something, so you had to
specifics.
make it up on the spot.
Yeah, what actually happened? See, I was lying before. Now I'm telling the truth. Um, we were doing Fobbies Are Born every single week, but whenever I went to meet Mallory for the first time ever in June 2008. We didn't have time to write an episode. And up to this point, we'd been doing it every week, every week, every week. And Ben was like, man, we need to do something. And he's like, now would be a good time to do Mother 1 because people have been asking about it. We don't have anything planned. And, if we do Mother 1, we'll just wing it. We'll just make everything up. It'll be great. And I was like, dude, I've never even played Mother 1. I played it for like 10 minutes. And I knew the very beginning of the game, and that was it. And he was like, it's fine. We'll be fine. So we started, and I knew nothing about the game, and I didn't have a voice ready or anything. And as soon as
He had to feed you knowledge of the plot as we went along.
one of the people who were doing who was voice acting knew the game better than any of us. Lawahi, for those who know who he is, and he was writing what happens in the game in the chat that we were reading. And it was just bullet point stuff. It wasn't like you need to say this. It was just bullet points. So as soon as it starts, after Ben does the intro, I'm just like, oh boy, I just got out of bed. I love bed. And then, I love bed became universal sign for Ninten. And anyway, let's jump forward a lot. Lords of Not Christmas had 9 episodes. Later on, I decided that I was going to bring Ninten back because everyone loved the character, and I did Ninten Speaks, which was also a radio show. It was I did it every week. I did 3 minutes and put it on the radio show, and then I decided that it would be fun to bring Ninten to life with a video, and I just took the concept of Ninten Speaks, where he talks about whatever, and I brought it to video. I started putting stuff on YouTube, and Ninten went on for a long time. And then when I started vlogging, I I had said at the beginning of the vlog, I was like, "Don't worry, everyone. Ninten will take precedent over the vlog. I'll never miss a week for Ninten. Ninten will live forever." And he didn't. But the reason was it's just doing actual Ninten Speaks episodes are a ton of work, and they take so long to do. And it's just, there's not enough time to do it. So only recently did I decide to bring Ninten back playing Minecraft because it's really easy to do. I'm only doing 5 minutes every day, and it also is really nice to give the fans Ninten again because it's been so long since they've actually seen Ninten and heard from him. So everyone wins. I win because it's short content that I can actually produce and get out every day, and the fans win because they've missed Ninten. So that is where Ninten came from. That's the long version.
Everybody's like got all excited when you did the Ninten voice.
Everyone, I don't understand it. In fact, that's the older voice. Ninten's voice kind of changed since the beginning of
Ninten hit puberty.
Yes, Ninten changed a lot because at the beginning of Lloyd's Are Not Christmas, his voice is slightly different than it is now. Because I think it actually got deeper. It still sounds like, as someone put, a drunk Mickey Mouse, but it sounds a little more mature, I guess.
Also in Fab's Nest, little sister and Redneck Paula are Ninten's voice. Stephen can only do 2 voices.
It's true.
His own and Ninten.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed doing voice acting for the show. I don't know, it was a lot of fun. I did Ninten, which we all know what Ninten sounds like, and then I did Ness, which is just Ninten, just slightly higher. I'm gonna try and actually do these voices, having not done them in a long time.
Okay.
Or heard them.
Or heard them. Oh Lord, this is bad. All right, let's see. All right, everybody. Is that Ness? Is Ness
Yeah,
higher?
a little higher, I think.
Hey, Paula, what's going on? This is Ness. No,
That's too
is it
high.
too high?
It's getting
Yeah,
an
it's been
Ninten.
too long. I think I could probably hit Southern Paula with ease, though. All right, Daddy, what we gonna do today? We're gonna do some trout fishing here today. I sure do love the trout fish. Nom 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 nom. That's Southern Paula. Man, my life is such a wreck. What have I become? Oh, anyway, we'll just move on. Stop doing voices.
Daily Pack is also another big channel that you have control over. What made you want to do that channel based on like different card series?
Daily Pack was an idea I had near the end of school, near the end of my senior year in college. I remember I came up with it one day in the shower because that's where all good ideas are formed. I got out of the shower and I was like, Dan, dude, this idea is great. And he was like, please put on some clothes. And I was like, oh, sorry. So after I got clothes on, I sat down and talked to Dan about this idea. And he thought it was a pretty cool idea. I ran it by Alex. Alex hated it, but that's pretty, that's pretty kind of the way Alex is. And it was in my head for a long time, but it didn't get to come out until that summer. Basically, for those who don't know what Daily Pack is, it's a channel, youtube.com/dailypack, where I open a pack of cards every day, hence the word pack of cards, daily pack. And in order to get the channel started, I bought a booster box, which is 36 packs of the latest Magic the Gathering set, because me and Mal are both big Magic the Gathering players. I bought the cards. We filmed them all. We did all the editing. We got them up, and then we asked people from that point on. We said we can't afford to continue buying packs for the channel because we can't. I mean, a booster box is over $100 or about $100, and we wanted to get the channel started, but we would need donation packs. We called them sponsored packs, and the way we did that is when people send in packs, we actually advertise their YouTube channel. So you can send in a pack, and we'll show the pack which people are interested in, but the entire time the video is going on, it actually shows your YouTube channel in the corner, and people can click it. It's an annotation and stuff like that. So it was just kind of an idea I had, and it's been very successful, especially recently. People have been so generous to us in the past, and continue to be so. Actually, we got a package today which had a something in it. I guess I can't say. I'll keep it a secret for the vlog, but something happened today. Mallory's looking at me like, "What are you talking about?" Never mind. But people send in stuff for Daily Pack. We've probably had At this point, we've probably had almost 100 donated packs, and that spans Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh. And I don't know. It's the only problem with Daily Pack is that it similar to Ninten Speaks, it takes a long time to do. You have to actually set up the camera. You have to get everything ready. Then you have to film them all. When you're
I
done,
have to film them
Mallory
all.
has to film them all. After you film them, they have to be edited. It actually takes a long time to edit them because one of the cool things about Daily Pack is that at the beginning of each episode, you hear someone say Daily Pack, and that's not me. That's always fans. Fans actually record themselves saying Daily Pack. They send them in, and then at the beginning of each episode is a different person saying Daily Pack. So there's a lot of cool stuff that goes into it, but the biggest problem is that there's too much work that goes into it, and it's actually got Daily Pack all backed up. So as soon as Daily Pack's through being constipated, it'll come back out and be daily again. But it's kind of on the cutting room floor right now. Hopefully it'll come out soon.
Pay attention to the chat, and the person who Alex kept saying their addresses here.
Oh. Oh
The
yeah.
one that lived on Beef Street.
Yeah, blank street, apartment blank. Man, that was so good. And actually, there was a lot of footage cut from that vlog too. Man, it was good stuff. There's a lot of good vlog moments. The best of the Stephenvlog list is totally worth checking out. Even for people who might just watch the LP channel and don't watch the vlog, maybe not care. Check out Stephenvlogs best of playlist. There's so much funny stuff in there.
Is there a favorite pack that you've done for Daily Packs?
I like the one where
Oh,
you started going through and you sort of
yeah,
made a story out of it.
yeah. Okay, There's been a few times on Daily Pack where um, I don't call the cards by their actual names. Those are the best because I just start going through these cards, and it's one of those things where after you've sat down and you've recorded 30 packs and it's been 2 hours recording videos, that you're kind of tired of recording yourself opening packs. And so by the time you get to that point, sometimes you just start making stuff up. So instead of calling the cards by their name, I'm like, this crazy purple lady, and I just start doing stuff like that. Those are great, and I don't know what numbers those are, but people that watch Daily Pack regularly know of those, and those are pretty fantastic. So those are probably my favorite. I just don't know. I don't know the links to those.
What does someone need to do to send you a set for daily packs?
To send something in for Daily Pack, you go over to the channel, youtube.com/dailypack, and there's actually a little box there that explains, there's a huge frequently asked questions thing, and it tells you basically the address to send it to, and what we do with the packs, and how we'll advertise your channel. So just go over to the channel, there's an address, and send in the packs. Even if you don't have physical packs to send, you can actually message me and we can talk. There's been a lot of people in the past that have just bought packs through like PayPal, and then we'll actually go get the packs from somewhere and we'll open them ourselves. So, um, I mean, there's quite a ways to do it, and there's a lot of packs that have been sent in recently that haven't been up yet. Actually, like closing in on 60. So as soon as we get those up, we will get those up. But if you want to send something in, feel free. There's lot of a lot of people do that, and we will advertise your channel and stuff for you.
Stephen Basement, what made you want to start doing this channel?
That was actually my first channel. That's XFISJMG1. That was the moniker I went by before I started the vlog. Before I started the vlog, I wasn't a very public person. I mean, I released content, but not.
Steven's really shy in person.
I'm not really shy. I'm just quiet. I mean, it's one of those things that if I'm talking one-on-one with somebody, then I will, I'm going to talk to them, no problem. I can even get in front of people. I took a speech class in college, and I don't have any problem getting in front of people and talking. But if I was in a crowd of people, I'd be very quiet. I probably wouldn't say a word. So I think a lot of people don't know that. I think a lot of people watch the vlog and Let's Plays and kind of assume that I'm this crazy guy and I'm gonna like run into a crowd of people, especially the Earthbound videos. There's a bunch of videos on Stephen's Basement, old stuff, where I actually dress up in costume, go out into public, and do crazy, stupid stuff. And I think a lot of people think that that's what I'm actually like, and I'm not. That's complete acting. I would not actually do that, in public. I mean, I did, but you know what I mean.
Well, technically, you just kind of killed the last question.
Yay!
So,
What was the last question?
was Stephen Basement your first channel?
It was. I started that in 2005, I think, and that's not too long after YouTube started. So, yeah, that's where I put all my stuff, and I actually applied for partnership on that several times, but I didn't. I didn't get it, and I didn't deserve it because I wasn't actually releasing very much content. I didn't understand what exactly they were looking for. Now I do, because I have 3 other partnered channels, and I know you have to release a lot of content before YouTube actually likes you. I have both the social stream and the chat open, so should we just like start picking stuff out?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. We'll just start answering this stuff, I guess. Okay, crap. This is actually bad. There's so many things coming in. All right, you guys are gonna have to be aware that there's a lot of questions coming in, and we're gonna try and answer as absolutely many as we can. But if you notice that we're skipping your question, just ask it again. I don't know. Let's see. Where did they actually start up here? I'm trying to scroll up. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna completely disacknowledge everything that's been asked because the thing because the thing is scrolling so fast and I can't scroll back up. I'm gonna start at the bottom. Toon Wolflink 418 asks, Stephen, how do you get away with filming in stores/restaurants?
He doesn't. No one really ever bothers us.
No one's ever bothered us. The only thing I make sure that I don't do is I make sure that there's no music playing in the background, and the reason for that is simply copyright. So I make sure that you can't hear any music, and as long as you can't hear any music, then I'm pretty good. And even if you hear music, as long as the identification system doesn't figure out what it is, then you're okay. But That's how I get away with it. It's just you just kind of do it.
No one's ever really approached him and been like, "What are you doing?"
The only time I ever got approached in public for filming was a time I
Family's
probably,
Revenge?
yeah, probably deserved it. I was filming a very big video when I was in high school called A Family's Revenge, and me and some of my friends went into Kroger and were filming like part of the movie in Kroger, and we never got permission or anything. And the manager came up and wanted to talk to us, and that was interesting. But we kept the footage, and we just told them that we were dumb kids and we didn't know, even though we did, and we left. So we had what we needed for the movie, so it was great. Actually, it was funny because as soon as we left, we went out into the parking lot and kept filming because there was more to film. Anyway,
It was for a class. It was an
yeah,
assignment.
that's what we'll say of it. Okay. Once again, I'm just gonna keep. I know it's not fair to people to skip questions, but to be quite honest, there's so many things popping up that it's really hard. So just bear with me. I'm trying to be fair, and I will promise I'll try to get to all your questions. Um, so let's see. Spasm Boy says, "So Stephen, what do you think about stabbing baby dolls and throwing them down the hallway?" That is a reference to an old vlog.
I showed that one to my dad and he hated it. He was like, "Why would they do that? That is awful."
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh God, it's hilarious. And I don't know what vlog day that is, so everyone be awesome. Go figure out what vlog day we stab the baby, or Alex stabs the baby, and post it in the chat so everyone can go check that out later. I
I
don't
think it's
remember.
like 15.
It's really early. It's not 15. I wasn't back at school till 30
25?
something.
Yeah.
But someone will post that. Motherfan42 asks, "Are you a brony?" No. I mean, I don't have anything
I
against
don't think
bronies.
Steven has ever even seen My Little Pony in any sense, even the old ones.
I mean, I know of it. Obviously, you can't even use the internet anymore without being, exposed to, My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. But I've never actually watched the show. I've heard really good things about it, and it's not something I'm opposed to watching. It's just I've never gotten around to it. But I'm not a brony. I've never seen the show. I don't have anything against bronies. Bronies to me are like furries, in the sense that I don't understand them, but I don't have a problem with it. So, that's kind of how I think about it.
The vlog day is 42. Now you have to ask yourself if this is necessary.
Okay, yeah. Day 42 stabs the baby. So everyone check out 42 after this is all over, because it's pretty hilarious. I'm going to just grab some more random ones. Chili 6501. Steven, did you get the cards I made of Ness, Paula, Pooh, Jeff, and Y-Juice? I haven't gotten anything yet. We have some mail, but we haven't opened it. So possibly? I don't know. Let's see. Are you from
Connecticut?
Norwalk, Connecticut? Because if so, then yeah, we got you covered.
We just haven't opened it yet.
I just haven't opened it yet, although it's probably going to be on the vlog for like Thursday. So just bear with me as I'm rearranging time. Let's see. Twilight King 2727. If you could have any video game power-up, which would you use and why would you use it? If you could make a power-up, what would it be able to do? Oh Lord, I don't know. A video game power-up? I've always thought invisibility would be awesome. I think that would be really neat. Although really, anyone who says they want invisibility is just using it for terrible means of so in fact, I'm gonna change my answer to flying. I want to fly because that way I'm not putting myself in a position to. Never mind. Mallory?
I've always wanted to fly. I'm scared of heights, but I still wanted it.
Yeah, I mean, flying is cool. As long as flying would not have the equivalent of like running really hard, because I wouldn't be able to fly very long. So as long as that wouldn't be the case, then okay.
Blue Blur 998 says, "Are you the friend who dared Chugga to start LPs?"
No. I know of that story, but I am not the person who dared him to do LPs. I knew him before he started doing them, but I wasn't the person that was like, "I dare you to do LPs." To be honest, I didn't really even know what Let's Plays were until, I mean, not long after Chugga started doing them. So, fairly recently, 2 years ago. I didn't even, and honestly, I knew he was doing them, but I didn't really get it. I never watched them. I never understood it. So it's a pretty recent thing. Tendabound wants to know if I'd ever Let's Play Mother 3. I've said this before. A lot of people ask this question, and honestly, no. It's not that I would never do it, but I probably won't. There's a 99% chance I won't. The reason is I feel like Mother 3 is a game that's best left to experience yourself. There's a lot of emotional moments, and I think it's a game that my commentary would ruin, and I don't have anything against anybody who has chosen to do the game in the past, but I think it's a game that's best left to be explored by yourself.
Someone asked me what my favorite type of cheese is from Wisconsin.
What's your favorite type of cheese?
That's hard. How
Is it?
about I don't like Asiago, but
Let me tell you the cheeses I don't like.
sharp cheddar, like super sharp cheddar, is probably my absolute favorite. And I've made Steven try that before at like an actual Wisconsin dairy cheese place, and he hated it. It was so strong. He was like, "I need something to drink."
Sharp cheese is a terrible invention. Like it is. It's
It's so awesome.
I mean, the only redeeming factor is that the sharper it is, the more expensive it is, and I like my cheese mild, so I get my cheese cheaper technically.
I also like buttercaza, feta. Um,
What about pepper jack?
nah.
I like pepper jack. I love pepper jack, so we differ there. But Mallory's the one that is really into big cheeses.
What's the name of it? And I can't think of it. Fontina cheese is good. Gouda is good.
I mean,
Gruyere is good.
I'm willing to try stuff, but I very rarely come across cheeses that I'm really into because, I mean, quite honestly, they're usually really strong. Too much for me.
I've had Limburger cheese and it's gross. Obviously. That's the smelly cheese.
Joey the Kid 101 asks, "Will you ever do a Mario game for an LP?" Any? Sorry, it was capitalized. Let's see here. I was looking over here on my little list of LPs to consider.
It's a post-it note on his desk.
It's a post-it note that lives on my desk. I add to it every once in a while. Mario 64 was on it. I don't know why Mario 64 is off of it, actually. Mario 64 was on this list. Now it's gone. Mario 64 is a game that I've highly considered doing this year. I don't know if it'll happen. And I think the reason I kind of took it off was because I was like, 120 stars is a lot. And also Josh Jepson is doing it. And I'm like, what the crap? Josh Jepson.
And Peacock.
Is he?
Mhm.
Okay, so I don't know what it is with Josh Jepson. But Josh Jepson, every time I'm like, I think I'm going to do this game, then I look at his channel and he's doing it. Because I almost did Yoshi's Island. And he started doing Yoshi's Island. I was like, what the heck? I need to introduce myself to him and become friends with him and be like, hey, how you doing? Okay, can we maybe schedule our LPs so we're not doing the same ones? If I didn't do Mario 64, the only other Mario game I'd be real interested in doing is World, because I'm a huge fan of World, and me and Mal would do a co-op LP of that.
How about Super Mario 2?
I don't like Super Mario 2. I hate that game. Super Mario 2 is not even a Super Mario game. It's some crappy...
Doki Doki?
Yeah, it's Doki Doki Panic. And they put Mario sprites on it and called it Mario, and it's not. It doesn't even feel like Mario. You have like the weird slow jumps and junk. Yeah. AC Jammer 9 says, how special is your video big on Game Station for you too? Grammar. What? Wait. How special is your video big on? I don't know what that means, but I think they're asking how important is it for us to have the Game Station video thing that we're doing. For those who aren't aware, we're doing a. Maybe you remembered in the past, me and Chugga did Demo Fridays together. 2 of the videos went on Stephenplays, 1 went on the Game Station. I'm actually going to be putting another video on the Game Station's channel, and it is going to be a network spotlight. It basically advertises Stephenplays and tries to encourage people who have never heard of it before to go check it out. And we're doing a montage of sorts. We are going to be doing a montage of Stephenplays footage, but we're also intercutting it with actual fans who have sent in video responses that say why they like the channel and you know, their favorite moments and stuff like that. So if you're listening right now and you don't know what I'm talking about, and you haven't done a video response, check out day 772 of Stephenvlog, and it explains it. We would love for you to send in a video response. You have until the end of January. We want to make a really killer, awesome video, and as for his question, it is very important. Like, it's a big deal because these normally bring in a lot of new people, and we really want to show everyone how cool Stephenplays is, because me and Mal do a lot of work, and you guys recognize it, and we want other people to see it too. So, Spasm Boy asks, have you ever hugged Alex? Yes, I have. There's so many times I wish I could still hug him. Ninten Dog Kitten Dog, which is an amazing name, Says, Steven, have you ever played an MMORPG? Actually, fun fact, me and Chugga Conroe used to play one together back in the day. Me and him both played Trickster, which is a Korean MMO. It was free, and it was, in retrospect, a terrible game. I think it's still going. You can still play Trickster, but me and him played back in the day. I played it. I played it with some of my friends, and I told him about it. I was like, hey, you should come play with us. So there was a lot of nights that me and Chugga would actually go through Trickster and play online. And then I stopped playing it, and he kept playing it. And I don't know if anybody else knows that, but he's actually like fully leveled up someone in Trickster. Like he put in like crazy amounts of hours into that MMO, and I don't even know if that's something he's ever talked about. Maybe he doesn't want me to say that, but Chugga was
there now.
for a small time. Chugga Conroe was addicted to an MMO called Trickster, and he played it a lot. So let's keep going.
Chugga's getting dirt spread about it.
Yeah, I feel bad. We're actually going to see Chugga again really soon, and this is the first public announcement, which is cool. So, hey, this is the first public announcement. We're going to go see him on February 11th. We're going to Atlanta on the 10th to see a They Might Be Giants concert, which is the best band in the world. And on the way back to Columbia, we're going to stop in at Location Unknown and see Chugga. So we're going to see Chugga on the 11th. Probably have lunch or dinner or something, and just see what he's up to. Anyway.
Relentless Microsoft said, "Hey Steven, have you used the copies of Terraria I sent you in mail?" I accepted it, but I don't think my computer can handle it. I haven't tried.
Are you serious?
Can it? Is it a Mac game?
No, it's for Windows.
Oh, well then I can't do it at all.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You don't have Windows installed?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, we got to get Mal a copy of Windows. I have a copy. I probably have several copies of Windows. No, I'm not even talking about legal copies. I'm actually legit.
I know.
At
SCAD gave them to you.
At SCAD, everyone was allowed a legit copy of every single version of Windows, like XP Home, XP Business, XP Pro, Vista, all this stuff. So everyone was allowed like 7 copies of Windows, and I was like, man, I'm taking advantage of that. So I actually downloaded all of them and have license keys for like 7 copies of Windows, including like 3 for Windows 7. So it's crazy. I have Windows copies coming out of my Windows. It's funny, kind of. GT Rio 1 says, what is you and Mal's favorite candy?
Kit Kats.
I like Three Musketeers.
We both prefer baked things like cookies and cakes and like homemade things.
Hey Steven, will you do the peanut butter jelly time dance on vlog for me? Spasm boy.
No. I would do the dance, but not the music. I think it's actually copyrighted, which is insane. But the people that did it originally got it copyrighted because it became such a big thing.
What's you guys' favorite food?
Taco pizza.
Taco pizza.
Chicken. It doesn't matter how it's prepared, what's on it, what it's with. Chicken. Probably chicken. I also like strawberries, which is somewhat related.
Levi the Amish man, is it wrong to giggle like an idiot while playing Kirby? I'm 20 and I tend to giggle like a girl while playing Kirby games.
His name is Levy, and the only and I do know that it looks like Levi, and I said Levi, but he asked a Q&A question before, and he corrected me that it is Levy. So Levy, the Amish man, and it's not your fault, you didn't know, but I remembered, so yay. And no, you should always laugh.
You didn't hear how Steven laughed when he was Model D.
Man, I had so much fun that night. That was crazy. I was like, I'm Waddle Dee! Oh god. And that became a thing, and actually, oh crap, I'm not allowed to talk about that anyway. Because I was gonna say crap. There's stuff I want to talk about. I don't know if I can talk about it. That was okay. Well, anyway, in the event, possibly, maybe, that the Runaway guys do that game in the future, which I don't know they might, I really hope that that makes it in there at least once. I really hope that that Chugga screams, I'm Waddle Dee. Because probably Tim and John aren't going to get it. They're going to be really confused.
Tim kind of threw one of their things that they were going to do under the bus when I interviewed him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this game, and it's actually on my YouTube.
That's not, well, I'll just go ahead and say it. It's one of the games that they were thinking about doing. It's not planned. But if they're ever alluding to something, then yeah, they were considering doing Kirby's Return to Dreamland. So sorry, Chugga, didn't mean to ruin your life.
Can we answer Treviso 25's question?
Treviso 25 said, in the Earthbound Halloween Pumpkinhead video, where did those people take you to? Now we're getting questions for old stuff. There's a old video on Stephen's Basement called, I think it's just called Pumpkinhead, or something like that. And at the end of the video, I'm walking around Savannah with a pumpkin on my head, something from Earthbound, and a hearse comes by and picks me up and takes me away.
Alex is filming.
Alex is filming. It's not planned. And the video ends that way. So everyone wants to know what happens. Basically, the hearse took me around the corner and brought me back. The only problem is when I came back, Alex was gone. So Alex left, I guess because he just didn't know what happened. And I called him, and he was back at the door, and he's like, dude, I don't know where you went, so I left. So, yeah, that's what happened, just so you know.
One asked about your scholarship. How did you get it and how excited you were? And someone said if you did not do video editing, what would you do for a job?
Oh, gosh. Real questions. So, sorry, what was the first one?
You had a partial scholarship to SCAD. How did you get it and how excited were you when you got it?
Okay. At any school you go to, because I know there's probably, from what I gather, there's a pretty good portion of the vlog and Let's Play audience that are still in high school. Go to college if you can. If you can, I would say if you can afford it, but that you don't even have to afford it. You can. I am the perfect testament. You can go to school fully on loans, so go on loans and be in debt for the rest of your life. It's great. But anyway. Most schools give out scholarships. SCAD is no exception, and SCAD gives out crazy scholarships. Like, they're
Didn't
really.
Ian almost get a full
He
scholarship?
did. They paid him to go to school. So, SCAD is expensive, but the good thing is that because it's expensive, they give better scholarships. And I actually got a $48,000 scholarship to SCAD, which was really nice. And I got it. Some of it was my grades, but a lot of it came because of a a video. You basically give them work that you've done in the past. You give them a portfolio. Yeah, I'm getting to the word. I know the word. And you give them your portfolio, and basically, based on how good it is, so based on how little of their college education you actually need, they give you more money. So I showed them a scene from A Family's Revenge 2, which is on Vimeo somewhere. Vimeo.com/xfisjmg1. Look at probably the first video I ever uploaded. That's what I sent in. I gave them that. I gave them Canadian Idiot music video, which is on Stephen's Basement. And I gave them the I Am Earthbound video, which is on Stephen's Basement. And I gave them those three. And they said, "This is good. You are a perfect fit for our school. Here's $48,000." And I was like, "Sweet." So
that would have paid for most of my college education.
yeah, that paid for a fourth of mine, or a third, somewhere between.
Your college is 3 times what mine was overall. We figured it out.
SCAD is so expensive. I mean, I would recommend SCAD to people as long as you're going to try really, really stinking hard, and make sure you work hard to get a good portfolio while you're there, because it's a very good school, but it is expensive as heck, man. It is crazy. I don't know if I would advise going to SCAD on loans unless you are really passionate about what you do, because it's expensive. And it's one of those things that now that I'm out and my job is YouTube, it's one of those things in the back of your mind where you're like, you didn't need an education for this. But when YouTube fizzles out, as it will at some point, because YouTube won't be around forever, then I'll be like, hey, I got that degree. Good, go me. So I did it in the right order. There's a lot of people doing YouTube that don't have degrees that plan on getting them later. I have mine, so I feel secure. That's kind of my backup plan. Anyway, so that was the serious question. Let's answer a question about poop or something now. Polly828 asks if I've ever turned to suicide. Obviously not. That was actually in poor taste. Have I ever turned to suicide? No. I don't think I've ever been that down, that I've ever been suicidal. I mean, there's been times I've been down, but I feel like there's always reasons to live. I tend to want to live and not die. So, I don't know. I would advise anybody who is really that depressed to get help. There is stuff to live for. You get one life, man. Don't get rid of it. There's so much stuff available to you here on Earth. I would say to try and take advantage of it. Try to have a good time because life is short as it is. You don't want to make it shorter. This inspirational message brought to you by Stephen and Mallory.
Okay, crazy question. What do you think of Parappa the Rappa games?
I have never played one.
Me neither. I don't even know what it's about.
I mean, I know what it is. I've actually take it back. I've played the first one in like a Sears when it came out a long time ago. So I don't have a real opinion. They've always been kind of interesting, but that's about it.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at what you were saying. I'm laughing at one of the people's questions in the chat.
Is it Night Retards? Is
Yeah.
poop in South Carolina brown like the rest of the world?
I like how Aaron and I are both lady enough to not have to say that word, but you're like, oh yeah, this question. Blah, 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 blah.
That.
We
Man.
both kind of were like,
Yeah, that's a legit question, definitely. To actually give you a serious answer to this ridiculous question,
oh gosh, this will be
it's
interesting.
completely based on what you eat. So it's really there's a whole biology behind it. It's actually, and this is to some people it might be gross, but honestly, it's actually really interesting to look up how feces works and like no, I'm completely serious. The biology behind it, and as far as like the colors, textures, blah blah blah, it's gross, yes, but at the same time, I'm really interested in sciencey stuff and biology and stuff like that. So I found it really interesting. Some of you are like, "This is weird," but we've been having serious questions and not so serious questions. But hey, if you ever are curious about that stuff that's coming out of you, Google it because there's actually a lot of interesting websites about it. So let's move on to another one.
Mallory, are you shaking your head right now?
Yeah, actually, she was doing that when you said that. It's funny.
Okay, so am I. That's why I was asking.
It's just, I mean, I can't. I mean, I didn't watch Nintendo Capri Sun's full interview, so I don't know. But I've seen some of NCS's stuff before, and he tends to be. I mean, quite honestly, he tends to be pretty gross sometimes. I mean, he farts on camera a lot and does stuff like that. So I think that discussing the biology and stuff behind poop is actually
yeah, but you
huge.
expect that from him.
Okay, so people don't expect. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
Even Mallory was shaking her head.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, but you have to realize I see him every day. This is nothing abnormal that's coming out of his mouth.
Spasm Boy asked what my favorite planet was and wanted to remind me that Pluto is not a planet. Earth. And that's not. I hate to say that and be like, "Durr." I don't know anything. I'm actually huge into astronomy. Astronomy is one of my favorite things in the entire world. Carl Sagan is the man, and
my favorite planet is Venus because Sailor Venus was my favorite.
Okay, so you don't have a legit answer either. Excellent. I mean, Earth. I like Earth because Earth supports life, and we've been searching desperately for another planet to support life. There are the moons.
Jupiter?
Yeah. Europa, I think, is the one in particular. I think Europa is the one that is frozen, and underneath is liquid water, and liquid water is the soup for life. And there's a lot of speculation that Europa may house life, and that's exciting. That's exciting, especially because that's something we should see in our lifetime. Pluto's cool though, and the reason Pluto's going to be really cool is in summer 2015. For those who aren't aware, I think in 2007 or 8 we sent a shuttle out to Pluto, and it's going to take a long time to get there. It's actually going to take until 2015, but summer 2015 we're actually going to get our first real pictures of Pluto, and that's terribly exciting to me that I'm actually going to get to see Pluto in my lifetime. So there's a lot to learn about. Astronomy is awesome. So whenever I say Earth, I'm not saying that uneducatedly. I'm just...
Steven's just thrilled my little sister's an astronomy major.
Oh man, I love talking to Carly about stuff like that. It's fun. She sends me her papers, and I read her papers sometimes. So I'm big into astronomy. I like it. I think it's fun. Anyway, we'll move
Someone says, Mallory, do you have any funny stories from your class at the school you teach?
Oh Lord.
They're more funny sad. And I'm not going to go into them because I have some very, very sweet students and I have some very, very awful students. And I have a a lot of little students. I'll just do this as a general one. A lot of my pre-K, kindergarten, and some of my first graders. They call me Mrs. Art. They don't know my name. They just call me Mrs. Art because they know I teach art. And then the one of them that remembers will be like, "No, that's not her name. It's Mrs. Weir." And they're like, "All right, Mrs. Weir. How you like my picture?"
Oh, so cute.
She has she has interesting stories indeed. She's got a lot of battle stories,
Yeah,
really.
I get battle stories.
Yeah, I don't know if we should go into that, but we'll just keep going. 8-bit 16's question. He'd asked two, and I only answered one. His other question was, if I didn't do video editing at SCAD, what would I do for a job? I don't know. This still, I guess, really. I mean, I've always had an interest in video, so even if I hadn't done video at SCAD, I'd probably still be in the same situation right now. Maybe, possibly. But if I had gone to SCAD and I didn't do video editing, my second choice was graphic design. Really, really big into graphics, really big into web design. I don't do it as much now as I used to. I still use Photoshop every day because just, various stuff for the vlog and LP and the channels. But I would probably be a graphic designer, but I'd probably still be doing the vlog.
Yeah,
But
you actually considered changing to graphic design in college.
yeah,
You talked about it to what's his face that was your advisor.
yeah, there was times that because actually once I got into SCAD and I started doing video, I realized very quickly that a lot of SCAD is about getting you into the industry, and it didn't take me a whole lot of time to realize I didn't want to be in the industry. I didn't like the industry. I didn't want to make Hollywood movies. I didn't like just everything about that. I saw myself as being more of a family man and being able to have a 9 to 5 job or something where I'm working at like a new studio, coming home to Mao and actually being able to, have dinner with my wife and play video games. I didn't really want to be gone all the time working on movies, and YouTube's really helped me be able to actually do that and kind of do what I wanted to do. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of the way I did things because SCAD's path is to teach you how to do stuff for the industry, and that's great if that's what you want to do. If you want to make Hollywood movies, get yourself to SCAD because they'll teach you. I was on a lot of sets that were legit. Everything was the same way they were performed on a real movie. I've edited short films that are like that. There's probably several people that are going to be like, "Where the heck is Phoenix Beyond?"
That was a question when we first started.
Was it? Yeah. It's not my fault. The director has not yet given me the approval to put it online. I can't do anything about it. He's still entering it into festivals. So anyway,
That's where Phoenix Beyond is.
yeah, Phoenix Beyond is in festivals. There you go. If you want to see Phoenix Beyond, find out where it's going to be in festivals and go to a festival and see it.
Aaron, do you want to pick a question?
Yeah, you do it.
Tech Dude 1, what is your favorite Mario game?
I mean, we kind of sort of went over that with Mario LPs, but my favorite is probably either World or 64. I think that's probably.
I think Super Mario World would be my favorite too.
Yeah, I mean, I like the original. I don't like 2. I'm one of those weird people that don't like 3. I really don't. A lot of people are really big into Super Mario Brothers 3. They say 3 is the best game. I didn't play it a lot when I was growing up, and I think that's why it doesn't have a lot of nostalgia for me. I just don't like it very much. I played it, and it's like, eh. Me and Mallory played. No, did we both play through it, or you played through it yourself recently?
I've played through it myself recently.
Yeah, I watched Mallory play it recently, and it's really cool. They introduced a lot of neat concepts, but I'm just not that into it. It's just not something I don't know. 64 was one I had a lot of fun with. I've 100%ed 64 several times. I also 100%ed the DS version, so that actually has more stars and stuff. So I don't know. Probably one of those two. 64 was the first video game I ever played that was like a 3D thing where you had freedom. You could actually jump off walls and do all these cool stunts. So I don't know. One of those two games. The newer games I'm not really into as much. I mean, I have beaten Sunshine and Galaxy, and I don't know. They're different. They're pretty good games in their respects, but they change it up so much that I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of them. I haven't played Galaxy 2, but I've heard it's good. So anyway,
I have to mention this before we go back to questions, but the video that Stephen put up last night for the live Q&A, Did
Oh,
anybody
man.
else go, gotta rewatch that?
Basically what happened with that was last night, I had told myself that I was going to have a video up to tell people about this interview so people could watch it and, give questions and stuff like that. And the problem was I had been falling behind on vlogs because I'd been busy with other stuff. And I decided that I needed to get this video up. So even though I was recording the vlog for Friday, I was going to call it Wednesday's vlog and completely ruin everything. So I just quickly grabbed the camera. I was like, I got to do this. So I just started recording. It was like, I need to quickly get this done. And I think I filmed it, transcoded it, edited it, exported it, uploaded it, and had it public all within like a very small amount of time, like 40 minutes or something. It was kind of ridiculous. I just had to quickly get it done, so I did.
I remember when Steven edited that, he was like, I don't even understand what just came out of my mouth.
Yeah, I actually watched that part, and I said it was something like the day. I was like, I'll have the days up before the yesterdays, between the days, and I said all this stuff, and I looked at him, and I was like, what did I mean? What does that even mean? She's like, I don't know. You said it. I was like, but I don't understand what I meant. So if you're watching carefully, WTF and a question mark pops up on the screen for like half a second right there because at that point I didn't even know what was going on. It's like I don't know. People understand.
What's your favorite thing to do in Skyrim?
Kill things, or I should say argyle them because argyle is a verb for kill.
I like sneaking around and using my bow and arrow.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a personal Skyrim file. I only have the one for the LP, so I haven't had a chance to really play around with it. But when I finish the LP, I'm going to go back and actually play again using a different type of character, and I'm going to try to do just a complete thief, sneak type guy that steals everything and kills random people for no reason because they're kind of fun, but they're only fun to do after you've beaten the game. If you play if you play that way the first time, you destroy characters that have quests and stuff, so you don't get to really enjoy the game. So
I was playing the other day. I'm ahead of Steven now with the Let's Play because how far I am, I'm ahead of the Let's Play. And I got to this one part, and this guy's like, give me your stuff so you can have it later. And Steven's like, I just give him a chicken breast. So I gave him a chicken breast, and I'm not going to go into details to spoil it. And then I get to where he gives me my stuff back, and all I have is chicken breast, and I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. So
that
I
was
had to
great.
reload. And I
Yeah.
was like, Steven, thanks.
Yeah, for those who are wondering, that's the Thalmor Embassy, and that's where I am going to go next on the main quest, but I'm doing a lot of side quests right now. But I'm actually I'm kind of getting into what is going to happen because Mal's playing it, so I actually get to watch her do things that I'm going to do eventually.
And now you're not going to give him a chicken breast.
Yeah, I didn't trust him, man. I don't trust elves. You can't trust them.
Well, I am an elf, so.
Yeah, elves will lie to you. Because that guy, he looked shady. He was like, give me your stuff and I will help you. And I'm thinking, psh, give him a chicken breast. So Mal gives him a chicken breast. Then she gets into the party and all that's available to her is a chicken breast. She's like, Steven, how am I supposed to beat these guards with a chicken breast? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you could just chop it up and share.
Hi, says Mel. Keeps trying to ask the question, but we haven't gotten to her. Questions about Fab or FAB, and the URL was removed. What happened to Tree from My Youth with Ninten revived? Could we possibly ever see Earthbound being brought back to life, or maybe even Gasp Mother series?
Whatever. Okay, people want to know what happened to Tree from My Youth. Oh boy, here comes the story.
Steven's not in charge of it.
I'll keep it short. For those who don't know what Tree from My Youth is, Tree from My Youth is the radio play for Mother 3. It started after Fobbies Are Born's finished because by the time Fobbies Are Born's finished, Lords Are Not Christmas was done too. So we had done both Mother 1 and Mother 2. People wanted Mother 3. We announced the very last episode of Fobbies Are Born that there would be a radio play of Mother 3 called Tree from My Youth. And all of the series are different. And it's really interesting because they all kind of have their own feel to them. Fobbies Are Born is scripted, but it's live. So we're reading a script, but we actually recorded it live. So that's kind of a neat little thing. Lords Are Not Christmas is unscripted and live. So we are not reading a script and it's live. And then Tree from My Youth is scripted and recorded. So it's not live and it also has a script. So all three series are different. And for Tree from My Youth, we had Okay, well, I'll back up a bit. On Fobbies Are Borns, we had a writing team at the beginning of just me and Ben. Primarily me, and I hate to be a douchebag and say that, but I did a lot of the writing. Ben was also involved. I will not discount him for that, but I did a lot of the writing. And then when other people came onto the show, Martin and Lawahi, they got more into writing. So I'll just say that all four of us were co-writers. But in the beginning, it was me and Ben. We did a lot of the show's writing, and it was a pretty small writing group. When Tree from My Youth happened, we decided for whatever reason that we needed 100 writers, and it was really hard to get everyone together just to write the show. And we were also doing a game, Mother 3, that I wasn't really familiar with to begin with, and I just had a hard time writing it, and I decided that I was going to step back from the show. So I decided to stop being a writer after, I think, the second episode. So from that point on, the show was in everyone else's hands. I would still get the episodes when they had been written and make a few changes, but I wasn't in charge of writing them. The show went on for 4 of the 8 chapters that the game exists, and then it stopped. Basically because the writers dropped out and people lost interest. So that's the easiest explanation. Um, you can't really put the blame on any one person. It's just the writing team basically lost interest. And the thing is, it's not like the audience lost interest. People loved Tree for My Youth and they wanted it to exist, but it's just not feasible. Anyway, past that, the other question was
Slash Earthbound and slash Mother.
slash Earthbound. I don't. It's one of those
We
things.
thought about it.
There's been plans to bring it back and do different, ideas with that, but I don't know. It's probably not. It's one of those things that it's wishful thinking. We can talk about it and say that we want it to happen, but it's one of those things that realistically probably won't happen again. Um, Maybe if the time is right, and if we're with somebody who really wants to do it, it may be at a Earthbound convention of some sort with the people from Starman. It could happen again, but it's never gonna. I'll say this: it'll never be regular again. It would only be like a special episode thing. So along those same lines, slash Mother would never happen, just because we're gonna have a hard enough time getting Earthbound back up. So,
As a fellow tall person, what is the comment you get about your height that you dislike the most? I guess
you play
there's 6'10".
you play basketball?
What's the thing one of my fourth
Oh.
graders said to you when you came for our fourth grade play?
I think she'd asked, do you know you're tall? And I guess that's the kind of question you get from a fourth grader. And I was like, I've heard that before. Thank you very much. All my life, I've been asked, do I play basketball? And I always respond, no, I don't like sports. I'm a computer guy. I work on the computer. I do videos and stuff like that. I'm not into sports. That's what I get the most. I've hit my head on doors. Actually, the front door of my parents' house it's not a regular sized door. There's something severely wrong with that friggin' door. It's like a mini door, and I don't know what's up with it, but I've hit my head on that door so many times. I've kind of trained myself to duck through all doors. So anytime I go through any doorway, I always slightly duck. So I try to be pretty careful in that regards. But I think anyone over 6 foot tall has those same problems, and especially once you get out to 6'6" and beyond, oh gosh, it's terrible.
What's funny is your mom's probably listening right now.
Yeah, Mom, it's true. And I can just imagine her sitting in the office in my parents' house laughing about it. But she knows it's true. It's true. The front door of the house is small, and there's something wrong with it, and I've hit my head on it a lot. So.
Do you play the Legend of Zelda series? If so, what is your favorite game in the series?
Twilight Princess. I love Twilight Princess.
Oh my gosh, one of the best games ever.
I do like Legend of Zelda. I think there's kind of a misconception that I don't like Nintendo, because I've said in a past Q&A that I wish Nintendo would go the way of Sega. I still think that, and there's going to be people that get mad at me for that. I'm sorry. I think it's true. I really wish Nintendo would stop making consoles and make games. I feel like that would be. I don't know if that would be best for them, but that would be best for me. I don't want to have to own a Nintendo console. I wish they would just make games for the PS3 and the Xbox. And there's going to be a lot of people in the chat. They're like, "What's wrong with you?" So people automatically assume that I hate Nintendo, and that is so wrong. It's so far from the truth. I know I haven't had all that many Nintendo LPs, so that combined with that comment makes people, think I hate them. But I grew up as a Nintendo fanboy. I mean, hardcore. Only owned Nintendo. Sega was the devil. Sony was Satan, and all this other stuff. And I only ever owned Nintendo systems. I loved first-party games. I had all the Mario games. I had
Steven's
all
been
the.
getting Nintendo Power since he was like
I've been
5.
getting Nintendo Power since I was 7 years old.
Still gets it.
Whenever I opened my copy of Donkey Kong Country 2, there was a little slip in there, and I decided that I wanted to get Nintendo Power, and I've been getting Nintendo Power every single month since I was 7. It still comes to the house, and I think my mom told me this. I think when we were just there in December, she was like, "Steven, do you think maybe you should stop getting the magazine or whatever? Do you still want to renew this magazine?" And I'm like, honestly, I think I'm gonna stop because I don't even read them anymore. It's actually going to my parents' house, but so I love Nintendo, so we can establish that. I played all the Mario games, all the Zelda games. My first Zelda game was probably Link to the Past, and since then I've played the ones on the NES. Uh, Link to the Past is great. Link to the Past might be my favorite. Um, Link's Awakening for the Game Boy, also spectacular game, really different. Kind of like a black sheep of the series, kind of like Wind Waker. I've played Wind Waker, but I haven't beaten it. We actually have it here at the house, at the apartment, because Mallory's going to beat it, and probably what I'm going to do is just watch her play through it, and I'll just say that I beat it. I've played a lot of the old ones. I've beaten Ocarina of Time several times. I have Majora's Mask. I got that when it came out, so I have like the gold cart and all that stuff. So I'm a big Nintendo fan, and I like, you know, the the older games. I just haven't played a lot of the new ones, really. Mal has beaten Twilight Princess several times
Both systems.
for both GameCube and Wii, but I've never really played it a whole lot. I got to like the second dungeon in Twilight Princess, and I got distracted with other games, so I don't know. I still like Nintendo. It's just like I said, I really wish they would go the way of Sega and make games for other consoles. But and there's a comment right now. Nintendo should not be a Sega. Okay, okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I didn't like the Wii. I still don't like the Wii. I think there's a few good games on the Wii, but
Skyward Sword.
I mean, yeah, people like Skyward Sword, and I really don't care much for the Wii as a system. I think that the PS3 and the Xbox are both way better than the Wii as far as hardware goes. I mean, literally, they're better pieces of hardware. And I don't know. I would like to see Nintendo's games in HD. Whenever I play a Wii game, I actually play it on Dolphin because I prefer it to see it in HD. And I know that there's going to be people that are like, "Oh man, you're one of those people that are like graphics are everything." It's not that. It's just if you can play a game in high definition, why would you want to, or why would you not want to do that? Anyway, I'm done with my rant. I just want to really clarify that I don't hate Nintendo because a lot of people think I do, and I don't. But I have to get that out of the way. Anyway, we can continue now.
What is your favorite generation of Pokemon?
That's funny. The original, 150. A lot of people think that I've never even played the ones after that, and I think a lot of people were shocked to discover when I did a tour of my room a few weeks ago at my parents' house that I actually own not only red and blue and yellow, but I also own gold and silver and ruby and sapphire and the heart gold. So I actually own quite a lot of games, and I'm familiar with the series past the 150, and I've played all the games and I've beaten the games. I just don't care for them as much. And I'm sure that they're better games. I think that Gold and Silver are probably the pinnacle of the series in terms of being actual good games, especially letting you go back to Kanto. That's friggin' awesome. That was the best thing ever, which I actually didn't know about until I was like 20. But I would say the original 150 I have the most nostalgic feelings for them because I had both red and blue. I got them the day they came out, which was excellent. And I put in about 200 hours into red, and I actually got all the Pokemon, and I got them legit. I got a Mew legit because Toys R Us was doing a promotion where if you brought in your game, they would give you Mew. So I have a real Mew, and I actually caught all 151 Pokemon. I think the last one I got was Jolteon, because it's hard to get the evolutions of Eevee because you have to actually trade with a third game, and I had to find someone who would actually give me a Jolteon, but I actually got them all. I was pretty excited, and you can go to, I think, Professor Oak or something, and it actually says somewhere in the game that you completed the Pokedex. Anyway, so I'm a fan of the original, and that's actually why I'm doing Leaf Green for my LP, is because I want to do the original ones. It's the game I'm most comfortable with, and I don't really plan on practicing that LP because I haven't played Pokemon in a long time, and I want to relive some of that magic because I haven't. So it's going to, in a way, kind of be blind, sort of, kind of. I think it's going to be good. I think I'm going to probably get confused and not realize some of the changes between Red Blue and Leaf Green and Fire Red, but it'll probably be all right. I'm excited to do it.
This question keeps getting scrolled up every single time it gets to it. Are you a fan of anime?
I'm not. I don't know if I'd call myself an anime fan. I don't dislike anime. I like Trigun, which Trigun and Dragon Ball Z, which I guess Dragon Ball Z is kind of, you don't have to be a fan of anime to like Dragon Ball Z. Every middle school kid ever has loved Dragon Ball Z, and all the people that still like Dragon Ball Z in high school are like, but you can like it in high school too, right? No. No, I'm kidding. Actually, in college, we watched through about 100 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Dan had never seen it before, and Dan thought it was fantastic. Dan was excited about it, and we really liked it. I like Dragon Ball Z, even though now it's kind of stupid, and I realize that it just goes on forever. I haven't seen Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is the series abridged, but I hear that's pretty good. But Trigun Case Closed is really good. Mallory's way more into anime than I am, so she can probably tell you more.
I read a lot of manga in high school, but I don't know. I don't know what's new with the kids nowadays.
You sound so old.
Trigun was my favorite.
I
And
don't
after
know
that
what's
ended,
new with the kids.
I stopped really paying a whole lot of attention.
It seems like there was some. Oh, Furry Curry. Furry Curry is a must for anybody, whether they're an anime fan or not. I think it's on Netflix right now, and it's in HD. It's only 6 episodes. It's worth checking out. It's crazy, but it's good. It has the Pillows in it, which is probably my favorite Japanese band. So
You could clarify that with the only Japanese band you know.
yeah, actually, it's probably the only Japanese band I know. But yeah, that's all we really know about anime, I'd say.
Do you think Minecraft will ever come up to other platforms? If it does, do you think this will benefit the sales of the game? And what would your view on this be?
It is available on the Apple App Store, and I don't know if they are about to or if they have added survival to it, because it was just creative, but they're adding survival. I predict that it will come to the Xbox 360, and I'm predicting that because it's actually true. They announced that they were going to bring it to the Xbox, and it's supposed to be there, I think, this year. I don't know how soon, but somewhat soon. I think it's going to obviously affect sales for the better because more people can play the game. It's weird because so many people already have Minecraft and play it, but if they haven't already played it, then I think it would be good. I won't be getting it because I have it for the computer, and I don't think it's going to be as good on the Xbox simply because one of the things about Minecraft making it so fun on PC is that you can use mods and things like that. I don't think it's going to completely ruin the game not having access to that, but I think that plays into it a little bit. I mean, I think if you had the choice to get it between PC or Xbox, you should get it for PC. But for people who haven't played it, who want to, yeah, definitely check it out. Minecraft's fun, so it is going to be coming to the 360 sometime this year. So make sure you pay attention and get it if you want it.
What are the top 3 best moments of your life since you started vlogging?
The top 3 best moments in my life since I started vlogging. Well, 2 of them are givens. Proposing and getting married, I guess, are probably.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe the third one would be graduating college. Those are like the ones that you kind of assume are going to be the answers. Maybe people want like different answers, like fun answers. But honestly,
memorable for me, not even just like the popular vote, I guess, would be picking you up in airports and.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get shown. I mean, there's obviously we give everybody as much content as we can for the vlog, but we can't show everything because we can't. I mean, we're not recording all the time. But there's been so many emotional moments in airports. Just
Mm-hmm.
either saying hello or saying goodbye is either the most joyous thing in the world or the hardest thing in the world. And I am, I think my favorite thing ever is that I'll never have to say goodbye to Mao again because it's awful to say goodbye to someone, especially when she was actually spending entire summers with me, and to say goodbye to that's so hard. That's not fun at all, especially when you know you're not going to even see that person for like 4 or 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know personally when you asked Mal to marry you, it was like so emotional watching, and like I don't get teary eyed easily, but like I did get teary eyed for that. I'm like, oh, that's so cute, because the reaction on her face was like you could see how much joy there was in her eyes and everything like that.
that was a fun day. She knew I was going to propose, and I knew she was going to say yes, but she didn't know I was going to propose that day. She thought it was going to be like 2 weeks later or something, because where we got the ring from one of our friends in Chicago, who's a jeweler, and we were gonna go to a convention, and she was gonna be there. So Mal just kind of assumed, and I led her to believe that I was gonna get the ring from her in person, and obviously that wasn't the case. I had her mail it to me ahead of time, so she was just definitely sure that she wasn't going to get proposed to until after this particular date, and it happened like 2 weeks before that. So she was freaking out. She was pretty excited.
Do you get Brawl working on the Dolphin emulator?
No. I mean, I haven't tried it for Windows. For those who aren't aware, a few months ago on the vlog, I had talked about doing a Brawl LP, and we were going to do Subspace Emissary, me and Mao. And I was going to do it on Dolphin because, let's be honest, like I said earlier, games look better on Dolphin. So I actually ripped my Brawl disc and got it working on my Mac. It works fine. It works 60 FPS, but there's this weird texture issue. Apparently, from what I've read, it's only on Mac. And if you get it working on Windows, then you won't have that problem. So I haven't tried that. I can only assume that it'll work. But that LP was put on hold because even though I was planning on doing it, I talked to Chugga one day, and Chugga was like, actually, he's like, in a few months we're going to be doing Brawl. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm going to do Brawl, and you can't compete with Runaway guys. I mean, they're Runaway guys. So I told him, I was like, listen, we're not going to do Brawl. We're going to have to wait. So I think they're still going through the game now, actually. So it's one of those things, if it happens this year, it's going to be late this year. I try to wait 6 months between doing an LP that another big name has done. If it's a small person, it's not too big of an issue because there's a lot of LP channels on YouTube right now, and a lot of them are doing games, but you can't really compete with, Josh Jepson or something like that, because even though you hope that people are going to watch for your commentary, it's not always the case. People sometimes watch for the game, so you don't want to be doing an LP that's being done by the Runaway guys. That's kind of YouTube suicide in a sense.
Somebody asked earlier if you would ever consider being on the Runaway Guys.
If I would ever be on the Runaway guys, well, you have to be invited is the thing. You can't just be like, I'm gonna be on the Runaway guys. Emil has told me that what exactly has he said?
I don't know.
He said he didn't formally invite me to be on the thing, be on the show. He said that they were thinking about doing an LP in the future that would require a lot of guests, and that I would be maybe a guest on that LP, and that would give me a chance to meet both Tim and John, and then depending on how Tim and John felt, they would decide who would be the next guest star on their LPs. So it's pretty much like a thumbs up from Emil. He's fine, but I don't know Tim and John, so I think it's one of those situations where they want to use it as an opportunity to see how my commentary would work with theirs. Tim telling the poop jokes and me telling the biology of the poop jokes. So I think it'd work actually really well. But I think the biggest thing is I'm limited by travel. It'd have to be nearby, because
Well, one of them live somewhere nearby to where we have a place to stay, so.
yeah, I mean if I could drive there and it wouldn't be too far away, I would do that because they fly all over the country and meet each other and record in different places. So as long as I wouldn't have to do that because I can't afford to do that, then it would be a consideration for me. So if I can, then I definitely will take them up on the offer. But it's just a matter of them figuring out what's next and when they're going to do that. And Triforce Saturn's question is, have I gotten Trine 2 yet? Because he remembers me saying I like Trine, and we're considering maybe doing an LP of it. I do not have Trine 2, because I haven't beaten Trine. Trine was a game that was going to be possibly doing an LP of it. In fact, it's on this little sticky note in front of me.
Wow, I murdered that word. Yeah.
So it's a game that we might do an LP of, but we won't be getting Trine 2 probably for a long time, just for the fact that, we haven't beaten Trine. Actually, a fun thing to do might be to list the games on this consideration list, because I bet people would really enjoy that. They'd be like, oh my gosh, this game? And I generally don't do that, but I think it might be kind of exciting. Sonic 2 is on this list, which doesn't really need to be on this list because we actually are doing it. Same with the Portal 2 DLC. There's going to be more Left 4 Dead 2. Star Fox 64 is on this list of a game to do. Goemon's Great Adventure, which is a co-op Goemon game for the N64, is on the list. Gears of War, that's another title where people are like, oh no, Call of Duty. Gears of War is actually not bad. It's another game that kind of somewhat revolutionized the industry. It did a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff for video games.
Crystal Ponytails.
We're not doing Crystal Ponytails. That is a terrible Genesis game, should never have been invented. And Katamari Forever. I've wanted to do Katamari Damacy for such a long time, but my biggest problem was that it is a standard definition game, and I try not to do that if I can. I don't have anything against doing a standard definition game, but like even N64 games, if you play them on an emulator, not only are they legit widescreen, but it ups the models. Everything looks a lot better. So technology is increasing, things are getting better. Katamari Forever is basically the original Katamari Damacy and We Love Katamari levels kind of put together into this game. I've never played it, but I've heard really good things and highly considering doing Katamari Forever. So that's the basic list. There's other stuff that pops up that we decide we want to do, and most of it we've already put on the list. Pokemon, Time Splitters, and some other stuff. But anytime people actually take the time to recommend a game, I do look into it. So if you leave a comment somewhere and it's like, hey, look into this game, I think you might like it, I actually do. So we're always looking for new co-op stuff to play, single-player games that might be good. So
can we answer Mark's question? He's been asking for a long time.
Mark75 too?
Mm-hmm.
Stephen, what do you think about the fact that you have fans globally?
He'd also been asking about visiting the Caribbean, which is where I'm assuming he lives.
Okay.
He.
He.
This person.
It's kind of one of those things that's inevitable, but it's really cool. It never stops being cool because
especially getting mail from those places.
Yeah, and that I think that's what brings your mind to it, because you don't think about that when you're making content. When I finish a vlog and put it online or an LP or whatever, I don't think about the people in Ireland that are going to be watching my LP. It doesn't cross my mind. But when I get mail from people in Ireland that say they like watching the LPs, then it reminds me that YouTube is global. When you put a video online, it's not just, people a state or two over watching it.
I think Steven already knows this, but as a thank you gift, I'm sending him and Mal something.
This is new to me.
Yeah. Surprise!
I'm sending you guys something, so.
Well, thank you.
As a thank you for coming on the show.
Steven, what's your parents' name? Steve and Deborah. Steven, what's your favorite movie? Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Steven, what is your... No. My favorite movie is Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. The best movie is Shawshank Redemption. Completely different. Even though Shawshank Redemption is the best movie, it's not my favorite. Even though Ace Ventura is my favorite, it's not the best.
Okay.
Steven, what's your opinion on the Metal Gear Solid series? It is a good game. I haven't played through all the games. I still have to get through them all. I've never beaten Metal Gear Solid 1. I've only ever beaten Metal Gear Solid 3, played a lot of 2, never played 4. Looking forward to playing 4 because we now have a PS3. But I've loved what I've played of the series, anxious to play more. Steven, I am a starter LPer. What would you recommend me? What would you recommend me to play as a game? Um, don't ask anybody what game to play. If you are starting out as an LPer, you need to be the one that decides the game that you play, because your first LP needs to be a game that you know, and preferably something shorter, because you want to do a short game to make sure you finish the LP, because there's lots of people that start LPs and never finish them. It's probably because they choose games like, Mario or Zelda, something fairly long. Choose a shorter game. My first game was Portal. Portal was 9 episodes. Probably could have finished it in about 5. So do shorter ones. Keep your episodes short. Do about 10 minutes or maybe even less. And the reason is, you when you're starting doing commentary, it's harder because you're not used to doing that. Or maybe you are. Maybe you're in some kind of improv group. I don't know. So if you do shorter amounts of time, it's easier. So I would recommend doing shorter shorter episodes. And make sure you do a game that you know, because you want to have a lot to talk about. And if you know stuff about the game, you'll be able to talk about it. And also, if it's a game you like, that's going to come out in your voice. And that needs to. Whenever people are watching you play a game, they don't want you to be, bored, because then they're going to be bored. Then they're not going to watch your videos. So play games that you actually like. If you're thinking about doing a video game because people are really into it, but you hate it, don't do it. That's awful. Don't do a game that you hate. Don't do it just for.
You're rambling.
Well, I'm okay, but I'm just trying to make a point, and that's how you start doing LPs. There you go. Sorry, I just quick answered a bunch of questions.
Yeah, and now we have a whole nother page.
There's so
What's
many.
your favorite LP so far?
My favorite LP so far. That's hard.
Quick, go.
Well, I mean, Donkey Kong Country has been a really fun one. I really like doing Earthbound because I got to play my favorite game ever. Minecraft is probably a lot of fun to me just because
Okay,
it's
good.
always
Next
random.
question. Can you do a video on your recording
setup? Oh my
setup?
god. Okay. Yeah, CX Man asked, "Can you do a video on your recording setup?" I kind of did. There's one of the recent vlogs is called Cable Talk, and it kind of shows it. So
watch that vlog.
So watch
Next
that vlog.
question. What is your opinion on SOPA and Pipa bills? Maybe that's Pippa.
SOPA bad, Pipa bad. I mean, it's one of those issues where it's gonna hurt the internet. What are you laughing about?
Just keep going.
No, what are you laughing? No, what's so funny?
Keep going.
I mean, my opinion on the SOPA bill has mostly been one of the basically it's for good, but the way that it's worded is bad, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. I don't know, it may hurt me. But it's also one of those things that there's not a whole lot you can do. You can voice your opinion by signing a petition and doing stuff like that, but in the end, we're going to see what happens, basically. And make sure you are active. If you haven't signed, there is a petition for it. I think it's maybe Stop SOPA or something. You just go to Google and type in Stop SOPA. Make sure that you have your name on there, so you have voiced your opinion. But in the end, it's going to be up to the government. So we're going to see what happens. And I think it's one of those things that when you read it, you can't help but think, it's not going to happen. This couldn't possibly happen. But it might. I don't know. And if you don't know what it is, go to Google.
If you had a choice, would you change your life at all?
No.
I wish I could be more flexible. I miss that from ballet. Oh man, my chat just went crazy.
I guess that would be kind of a good idea. I mean, I wish I was.
You wish he was more flexible for ballet?
Well,
I did ballet a long time ago, and I've lost that flexibility.
I wish I was in better shape. It's not that I'm in bad shape, because everyone's gonna be like, "LOL, you're 160 pounds and you're
a string bean."
A string bean, but seriously, I actually I'm sore a lot just because I don't get a whole lot of exercise and stuff. I mean, we try to go for walks, but lately it's been cold, so we haven't, and it makes me feel unhealthy. And I know I eat nothing but crap, except for dinner.
That is so true.
Man, you should see what just sits next to my desk, bags of chips and
pretzels.
Pretzels. I eat candy. So I'm not. I'm really not the most healthy person in the world, and I don't exercise very often. I'd really like to change that. And I also dress like a UPS man.
Wait. I want to mention that your version of cold. It is 21 degrees here.
Yeah, it's What was it today, Mal? Today was pretty chilly. Not too bad.
I don't know. Pull up the weather.
Yeah, the weather thing's always wrong though. It says it's today. Today's high was 54, and it was pretty chilly.
We have a freeze warning tonight, supposedly.
I'm not a fan of the weather unless it's. It has to be about 70 before it's okay. Otherwise, it's not good.
My chat messed up, so now I am starting over from the top of the new list.
Excellent.
What's our favorite Sonic game? 2.
Generations, actually.
I miss
Generations.
my old Sonic 2.
Generations is amazing. Unleashed is really good if you play only some of the game.
Is Mallory doing a solo LP soon? I'd love to see her do Tulip or some other game she likes. I would probably pick Okage because not many people have heard of it, and it's something crazy that has a feel of Earthbound to me when I played it. Although it's terrible quality. If I could play that game in HD, it'd look so much better because you can hardly see what's going on.
There are emulators for PS2 that I've looked into a little bit, but it's just not as straightforward and easy as Dolphin. As you can tell, I'm not against emulators at all. I'm against piracy. Don't kill the video game industry. Support developers and buy games. Buy new when you can. I mean, obviously, if you can't afford it, then you don't beat yourself up for that. You know, buy used. I like saving money too, but don't download games. Don't do that. That's bad. But emulators themselves are great. Being able to play Wii games in HD like they should be, I mean, that's great. Dolphin is great. Emulators are good to allow people to play classic games. I actually have a lot of views on that stuff, but I'm not going to go into it.
Did it ever scare you putting so much information about yourself online?
Nope.
You've had people show up to random things trying to meet you a few times now.
Yeah, that was
One time was before we even knew each other.
yeah,
And another time someone tried to show up where we worked over the summer, but they went to the wrong one.
Yeah, that actually has happened before. Funny stories. Back when I did Ninten Speaks regularly, this family was on vacation, and their kids were fans of Ninten Speaks. It was two daughters. One was like, I don't know, 13 and 10 or something, and they really loved Ninten. And they were watching the videos, and they went on vacation to Myrtle Beach, and we were working at Carrabba's at the time, and it was before we were vlogging. It had to have been because I would have talked about it, and I didn't. So they actually came and went to the Carrabba's and tried to find us to say hello and meet us.
We were working that night.
We were working, but they went to the wrong one.
There's 3 Carrabba's on the same road in Myrtle Beach, and they went to the wrong one.
And he messaged me when they got back to Virginia and told me all this, and I was blown away that someone was actually like trying to. It wasn't creepy. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was really sweet, but it was also kind of a realization that even though I thought Ninten was pretty small, there was people coming, you know, from Virginia trying to meet us. But I actually ended up making a special episode for them, for the kids, because I thought it was really neat, and it's hidden. If you go to Google and you type in Ninten Speaks, hidden episode or secret episode, or
I think it's hidden. Or lost?
Lost episode. Yeah, if you go to Google and type in Ninten Speaks Lost episode, you will find a special episode of Ninten Speaks most of you probably never seen before, and it's not directed to anything but these girls, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway. Jonatron28 has a good question. Stephen, when I looked at the schedule, I saw that there was a Portal Co-op number 12. Is this a mistake, or is it continuing? It's continuing. Early March, Portal Co-op is back because there is a DLC pack, and me and Mao are going back through the game. So, and CX Man said, why not do Time Splitters on Dolphin? I tried. It doesn't work.
Our favorite set in Magic? I miss 2010.
Eldrazi is the best. Is one of the best sets for limited. Just because it's so fun, getting huge creatures. Zendikar is fun and limited. I don't like Innistrad for limited. I lost every time I played. We're really like machine gunning the questions now.
I know.
Also, AC Jammer keeps asking this question.
We tried to answer it, but we didn't finish all of it.
We answered the first part. He also asked, can you check your YouTube inbox tonight? I check it pretty much every day, so I'll get to it. Have you ever played Minecraft online game?
It's Minecraft.
Minecraft. Okay, I will look into that. This is actually a pretty good opportunity to let people know how it is I answer questions that people give to me. I get a lot of messages and comments, and I do have a rule for myself where I do respond to everybody, but I don't respond every day. I try to get to as many people as I can, but I usually get backed up. I try to get to you within a week. So if you send me a message on YouTube, within a week you'll probably get a response. But there's a lot of people who message me, and then like a few hours later they message me again, and they're like, "Hey, you didn't respond to my message, so I'm sending you again." And I'm like, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's that it's going to take some time to have time to actually go through and answer these. So random Alley says, "Who do you favor in the presidential election?"
Colbert.
Colbert. Is he running now? Did he announce
is,
it?
No, but he is up apparently in the polls for South Carolina
That's
Republican.
amazing.
That's
amazing.
coming up.
I would vote
up,
for
or whatever's
Colbert.
going on. There was
not...
just an article on CNN about him being in the election, and it was supposed to be like this troll article that someone wrote that was like, "We cannot allow this person to run who has such points as," I don't remember, but they were just like quoting things from his show that are obviously very, very inappropriate for a candidate to say. And the whole article was written so that it sounded like someone was believing that Colbert was a real person running for the presidency.
That's funny. Yeah, we don't answer questions about politics just because it's one of those things that just doesn't matter. But I'm not voting for Mitt Romney.
After all the ads you
because Mitt Romney friggin' bombards me every time I get online. I mean, and the thing is, even if it's not real Mitt Romney on Ustream, it's fake Mitt Romney. How many ads on YouTube have I seen now where it starts and the guy's like, "I'm fake Mitt Romney." I'm like, "Mitt Romney, get away from me. It doesn't matter if you're real or fake. Just stay away." What the crap, man? Yeah, we don't deal with politics. Me and Mal aren't really big into politics. Superman should be the president.
Q&A session brought to you by Mitt Romney.
Yeah, I know. God, yeah, actually. I hope that it doesn't. I'm not on the Ustream page, so I really hope that it doesn't continually like play that ad for them because that would be terrible. It'd be awful.
Name one foreign language you'd like to learn.
Mal can answer too. That's a sign I need to shut my mouth.
I've taken quite a few French classes, so my French is conversational. Bonjour, and I took a year of Japanese. I've completely forgotten it because it was like 6 years ago. Took a semester of German. Went back to French. I learned a bit of Polish because my grandparents are very, very Polish, and my grandfather still speaks it. And I know about 10 words, and they are very, very hard. Polish is a ridiculous language. But I would like to learn it more because I love my grandparents, and I wish I could talk to them. I mean, they speak English fluently, but it'd be neat to speak to them in Polish.
I've always wanted to talk to my grandparents, and I hope I get a chance to.
Fun fact, I call them once a month.
I took 3.5 years of Spanish,
and you don't remember anything.
And the only thing I really remember is like put a cheeseburger in my pants or something like, and
What?
Yeah, I seriously don't remember very much. It's not that I had a bad teacher; it's that the class I was in was terrible, and she had a really hard time teaching us because
your class was very
my
difficult.
class was just so bad. She didn't really have a chance to teach. If I could, I would continue learning Spanish, just because, I mean, Spanish is kind of like the second language of the U.S. now. I mean, you need to know Spanish. There's a lot of times where it would be beneficial to interact with people who speak Spanish. So I'd like to learn Spanish so I could actually, talk to everybody. In fact, there was when I was at the post office not too long ago, before Christmas, there was a Spanish person that came in, and everyone spoke English. And there was this guy that was standing in line behind me, this older gentleman, and he was hilarious. And he tried to speak to the Spanish person because it was very evident that the Spanish person didn't understand what the English person was saying to them. And I mean, I know a little Spanish, but I wouldn't feel comfortable trying to talk because I wouldn't want to say a few words and then they start talking, and I'm not going to be able to comprehend everything because I'm very bad at Spanish. And the guy behind me. What happened? The guy was trying to the English guy who needed to know where the guy lived or something. He needed his address. So the guy behind me is just walks up to the Spanish guy and starts going, "Dawn Day, Dawn Day," and we're in South Carolina, so everyone's got like this, this. I don't want to say hillbilly accent because I'm from South Carolina and I'm not a hillbilly, but he has a very southern accent. And he's going, "Dawn Day," and the Spanish guy is looking at him like, "Who is this crazy man? Where did he come from? And why is he screaming Dawn Day at me?" So, yeah, that was really weird. I got off track there, but Spanish. I'd like to learn Spanish. Let's go to another question. So,
Someone asked if we've been playing guitar. Yes, we played for about 20 minutes this morning, and both of our fingers hurt, and typing hurts.
yeah, it's been such a long time since I had played guitar that I'm actually experiencing finger pains again, which is sad, but it's nice. We spend a lot of our time playing now, or the free time when we can. When I'm waiting for something to export, I get the guitar and play.
Someone asked who our favorite zombies are in Left 4 Dead 2. Spitter, hands down.
Man, Spitter is so much fun. The charge, when you have a really good charge, when everyone's in that narrow hallway, like,
And you get all 4 of them.
you get everybody, you just feel like such a good charger. But otherwise, Spitter is good because you can stick to the tops of buildings and you feel like you stay alive for a really long time. So I would say probably Spitter. I mean, the tank's fun, obviously, but Spitter's good. I want to answer Green Drag 14's question. It says, "Have you been reading?" I have. I'm almost done with Ender's Game, and as soon as I'm done, I'm going to be starting the Steve Jobs book.
And then, are you going to go to the sequels to Ender's Game?
We'll see. Steve Jobs' book is huge, so it's gonna
Yeah,
take
this
some
might
time.
take him a while.
It's gonna take some time.
Someone asked if we watched Red vs. Blue. I have no idea what that is.
I remember when Red vs. Blue got started. I don't. I had friends that did. They thought it was hilarious, and they had all the DVDs and stuff. I've watched a few episodes, and it's not my favorite thing, I guess, in the world. Although Red vs. Blue really gave rise to Machinima, which has now become a huge thing. Everyone likes Machinima, and I like Machinima, some of it. So for that, I have to give them credit. It's not that there wasn't Machinima before Red vs. Blue, but Red vs. Blue really popularized it, so, I mean, that's something. But I've seen it a bit, and I don't know, it's not that I don't like it, it's just I'm not super into it.
Someone asked what style of art I prefer, traditional or digital. I'm trained in both. My skills are mostly digital with graphic design, but I really like traditional photography and ceramics. Not so much throwing pottery as in building sculptures. I find that very fun.
Yeah, I should really let Aaron control this thing. Mallory,
Yeah,
Mallory,
Steven babbles, and
well,
he'll
Mallory,
go on and on and on, and I just feel like people aren't getting their questions answered, so I
that's
needed to take over.
well,
So
listen,
I can look at him and be like, make it happen.
I know.
Talk faster.
I-
That's enough. Next
Well,
question.
the thing is it better to take time and actually answer everyone's questions legit, or is it better to give everyone the one-word answers like, "How do you feel about this?" And I'm like, "That okay, no, it's the next thing." I mean, I don't know. I feel kind of bad because this is the first live Q&A we've ever done, and it's.
And isn't it your first interview you've ever done too?
Yeah, actually, this is the first. Lots of things. Actually, 2 things. It's kind of a lot. Aaron, you take back over so Mallory will stop yelling at me.
I'll still yell at you.
Oh, sad.
I'll let you know when you need to stop talking.
Random. Did you ever try any Animal Crossings?
Yeah.
I've played the DS version.
I got Animal Crossing for the GameCube like the day it came out. Like I said,
That's a good idea, Mark.
I mean I'm a big fan of Nintendo and Animal Crossing series. I played Animal Crossing a lot. It's fun. It's a huge time sink. Huge time sink. I haven't played any of them since I have the GameCube and the Nintendo DS one. Actually, I remember me and you both had it.
We both had the DS version, and even though we were 1,000 miles apart, we'd get on the internet and play it together late at night while we were lying in bed trying to get to sleep.
Yeah, we went on Animal Crossing dates, which is the most romantic thing in the world.
We'd leave messages in
Honey,
each other's
do you want to
boards.
come look at my bug collection? Look at the new furniture I got. So yeah, that's where true love blossoms, is Animal Crossing for the DS.
You left a message on the town message board for me that was like, "Now I see how the rest of you Animal Crossing folk look at Mallory, but I'm not going to stand for it anymore."
Oh man, I've dug so many pitfalls and tried to bury everybody. I really wish there's honestly I played Animal Crossing a lot where I would just talk to people and try to piss them off at me as much as I could so they'd leave the town until there was just a handful of people in the town. I thought that was great.
Will Mitt Romney make his guest appearance on the vlog?
I mean, honestly, if Mitt Romney ever for whatever reason, if Mitt Romney contacted me and was like, "Hey, I'd like to be on the vlog," first I'd be like, "What?" And then I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, but you can't advertise." So it'd have to be like us going to dinner and talking about not things that aren't politics. So that would be
Man,
okay.
this
He has
pasta sure
control.
is good.
What's funny is he's got control of my channel right now, so he could do whatever he wanted to.
Yeah, once again, I apologize to everyone who has to hear him talk. If I didn't even know that was a thing on Ustream. I mean, we could have done this with Twitch or anything, but we did Ustream just because I don't know. I mean, you could have made an account for Twitch, but I didn't think that this was a problem on Ustream. Apparently, went pretty south. Now everyone's going to think I'm opposed to Mitt Romney. I'm not opposed to Mitt Romney. I don't support any of the politicians. As my grandfather always said, all the politicians are crooks, and I don't have a favorite candidate. So
One last question for Relentless Microsoft. Do llamas eat cacti on Christmas?
I think I said llamas eat cacti on Sunday. That was one of the things from the last Q&A. I don't know, actually. I've never actually. I don't know if I've even seen a llama in real life. I probably have. I probably have at the zoo. I don't know if they eat cacti, but someone should research and let me know
What llamas eat?
what llamas eat and if they would ever eat cacti. It
They
seems that would be
probably eat like
dangerous.
grass, the same thing horses eat.
So to answer your question, no, they don't. That question is ridiculous. The social stream slowed down, but someone was asking what the least favorite game we've ever played is. Barney's Hide and Seek.
It's not even a game because you can just sit there and it'll beat the game for you.
It's actually not a game. If you don't play it, it'll beat itself. It's for Genesis. I think it might also be for Super Nintendo, but
I have it on Genesis. My parents said it was a good idea.
Captain Novolin, it's pretty bad. Captain Novolin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Captain Novolin.
Captain Novolin is a Super Nintendo game, legit game, real game that you play as a superhero who has diabetes, and you have to make your way through the streets and not get eaten by the giant donuts. It's terrible. It has 2 levels, I think. It is very
I don't know.
bad.
I couldn't even beat the first one.
The thing that makes the game so bad is that at the beginning of each level, it tells you what you're allowed to eat, and you have to make sure that you have your sugar regulated and stuff. So you're making your way through this level, and like you'll see like a carrot, and you have to jump up and eat the carrot. And the thing is, at the beginning of the level, it might show that you have to eat like a carrot and a sandwich and a bag of chips or something like that. And if you eat like 2 carrots, Captain Overland dies. And I just think that's a terrible thing because the game was marketed for kids who have diabetes to learn about their illness. So can you imagine a kid playing Captain Novolin and thinking, "Holy piss! If I eat 2 carrots, I'm gonna die." That's just awful because and you actually got game over. It was like, "Hey kid, you have diabetes and you're screwed." That's awful. This is a terrible game. So yeah, that's probably the worst game ever.
Do you still watch Pixar's new films?
I want to see some of them. I really want to watch Up. I've watched the beginning of it, but I
Best
haven't seen the end,
movie.
like anything
Mallory
past
is a
20
terrible
minutes.
person. Let me tell you why. The other night, I'm sitting here, and Mallory's like, "Hey, can I show you something? I want you to watch this video." It was right before we went to bed, and I was like, "Okay." She shows me the first like 4 minutes of Up. I've never seen Up before, so and if you've seen Up, you know that the first 4 minutes are apparently pretty sad. It's kind of the backstory to start the movie off, and that's all that we watched. And when she was done, she was like, "Isn't it really beautiful?" And I was like, "I hate you. Why would you do this? This is awful." Because I got all sad and stuff before bed. I was like, "I don't want to see that movie. It's sad. I don't want to see a sad movie." The last movie we watched, which is not Pixar, and I'm gonna get yelled at if I say that again, but we watched what's the one with the hair?
Tangled?
Tangled.
Not the one with the hair.
The one with the hair. It was I gave a review on the
Rapunzel.
blog. It was all right. I didn't care too much
Steven
for it.
hates singing.
I don't like musicals. I really don't. Sorry, it's just not in me. Although I think it would be cool to see what's the one with like the Sesame Street with the adult themes that would what's it called?
What?
You're talking about the musical, like
Yeah,
the
it's the
actual
musical.
musical,
The actual
not
musical.
like
The one that has internet is for porn and everyone's a little racist and some of the other stuff. I don't remember what it's called.
Avenue Q?
Avenue Q. Yeah.
I knew that too, but it just wasn't
That's
coming
probably
to
something
mind.
I would be able to sit through. because it would be funny. But I've heard some of the songs and stuff from that, and I think it's really hilarious. The concept is pretty cool, but it's never been anywhere nearby for us to see it. But that'd probably be about it.
We do live in the capital of our state now, and you do realize that there is a theater downtown.
Okay, so now if Avenue Q comes to town, we can actually see it.
Someone's been asking what software you use for your LPs.
For those who don't know, I don't know how you don't know, but maybe I never mentioned it. I use a Mac, kind of. I have a Hackintosh, which is basically I built my own Mac. I saved a lot of money. Sorry, Steve, don't turn in your grave that I, cheated your company and built my own computer. But I do use a Mac. I prefer Mac's operating system. I've been using them for several years. I used Windows over 10 years before that, and I am a hardcore Mac guy. I'm not a Mac fanboy, so don't confuse the two. I'm not going to tell you that your PC is stupid, because it's not. Your PC is just as capable as any Mac and is way cheaper, so stay PC if you want, that's fine. But there's a program on Mac called ScreenFlow that will capture your screen. We use that for Minecraft, pretty much anything we would record on a computer. There's a few LPs that will be for PC, and for those I use Fraps and Audacity, because you have to have both of those running at the same time. For console LPs, I have a Blackmagic Intensity Pro, so that's how I record console stuff. And I use Soundbooth when I'm recording that, and that's all recorded on my Mac. So actually, I think most everything's been recorded on my Mac so far. I think the only thing I was planning on is I was planning on recording Bioshock. Bioshock was supposed to be out by now, and Bioshock got pushed way back and probably to the end of the year. But Bioshock is going to be probably the first PC recorded LP that I've done. Oh wait, Skyrim. Sorry, I'm stupid. Skyrim. The first like 14 episodes of Skyrim are done on the PC, and then I started doing them on the 360. So yeah, that's what I use, and I edit everything in Final Cut.
What block in Minecraft is your favorite, and least favorite? Same goes for Bob's.
TNT is my favorite because it's fun. Just putting an ungodly amount of TNT on something is just so great. It's fun. As far as the least favorite, I don't know. There's a lot. I don't like gravel. I don't like the way it looks.
I hate obsidian.
Obsidian's a pain. Although they changed the mining rate, you can actually mine it faster now. And as for mobs, wolves are my least favorite because wolves are stupid. I mean, Notch worked on making this thing, and then it was kind of cool when it came out. I was like, oh, cool, we have these dogs, but they're stupid as heck, and they jump in lava. They're just really useless. So they could be my favorite if you fixed them, but if you're not going to fix them, just get rid of them because they're really not that great.
Lately, I've hated chickens in Blaze.
Yeah. Chickens, I'm getting tired of chickens because we started a chicken farm, and it's like so many chickens. I don't know how many chickens we've killed. We're probably pushing 10,000 chickens we've killed. It's been kind of ridiculous.
The snow golem's pretty cool too.
So, I'll stop answering that question. I'll probably just keep talking about Minecraft.
Yep.
Someone asked, is my throat dry because they haven't heard me take a drink yet. I've had a drink, but it ran out about 10 minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I still have mine.
Give me yours.
No! I mixed up lemonade. It's mine.
Oh, yeah. So I was drinking. I only had like half a glass of water to begin with, but I'm out now. So, okay. So luckily, it does appear that everything is winding down. People are actually, the questions are getting less serious. So I'd say we'll take probably just a few more, and then I mean we might stick around maybe a little bit, but we'll probably at least stop recording for the actual YouTube channels. So we'll take a handful more. So if you have any serious, legit questions, go ahead and throw them out right now, and we'll try to answer just a few more.
How often do you take Mallory out to dinner or to a movie or ever?
Wow.
Ooh.
Ouch. Ouch, AC Jammer 9. Jeez. Time to get a little one-word personal in all caps. Ouch. We actually do stuff pretty often. I'm a pretty.
We have a rule.
We have rules. That's the only thing. I'm a super frugal person. Some of you might know it better as cheapskate. I like to call it frugal. We are really set on saving money, mostly because we have college debt, and it's insane college debt.
Yours is.
Mine is insane college debt. So yeah, I'm the one that brought. Yeah, why'd you marry me? I brought so many bad things upon you. Um, so
Ninten.
we don't go out to see movies.
We will be going out to one in March.
Which one's that?
Hunger Games.
Oh, Hunger Games. Okay, we might. Yeah, apparently we're going to see Hunger Games, which is just Battle Royale. Just wanted to throw that out there. Probably some Men in Black 3 because I'm pretty excited about that. But we really don't go see movies. We don't go to dinner very often, but we do like to try out new places. Like on the vlog, sometimes for recently we went to Witch because we had just never been there, and we like to do things like that to try things out. But normally we don't spend too much money on stuff like that. And if we're gonna watch a movie, we watch Netflix because there's a bajillion movies on there we've never even seen. So Joey the Kid 101 wants to know if I want to buy or if I plan on buying a 3DS or Vita. I don't. It's kind of a same situation where it's like money's tight. Honestly, I haven't been buying a whole lot of video games lately unless I plan on doing LPs of them, and I don't have any way of doing Vita or 3DS. I probably have a way of doing Vita. I know the old PSP has a line out or component out or whatever, but I don't plan on doing either of. I don't plan on doing an LP of either of those things, so I don't plan on buying either of them. It's just they're new. There's not very many good games for them. I actually don't think the 3DS is a terrible idea. I think it's a pretty cool system. I hear a lot of things about headaches, and then I talk to people that actually use the system, and they say that's rubbish. So I don't hate the 3DS. It's just I don't feel like there's a whole lot of good software out for either system yet. Is the Vita out yet? The Vita isn't even out yet, is it?
It's out in Japan.
Okay.
I don't know about the US.
Okay, but I don't know. I bought the PSP the day it came, or 2 weeks after it came out, and kind of regretted that. I do not own very many games for that, except for like GTA. But I used my PSP as a Super Nintendo, so that was something.
Have you ever heard of or played Team Fortress
2. Yeah, I bought Team Fortress 2 shortly after it came out, and I played it early on, and before it was a hat simulator. And I recently tried to go back to it, and the learning curve is so high. People ask me all the time if I'm going to play with them and play online, and I probably not. I've played it a little bit, and I get creamed. It's really hard, so not anytime soon.
Have you ever played Okami?
We own it, don't we?
Yes, we do. It's right on the shelf
You've
behind
played it.
you.
Mal's played it.
I've gotten a bit into it. I haven't beaten it or played, really, really far at all.
On the vlog for Christmas 2010, around that time, I was with Mal in Wisconsin, and
that's when we got it.
My 360 red ringed.
My 360 red ringed.
Her 360 red
Well,
ringed.
you were playing it
while I was playing it, so she blames me. It's not my fault. And all we had was her PS2, and she didn't really have a whole lot of games for it. So we went to GameStop and bought some games, and one of the games we bought was Okami. We didn't get a chance to play it then, and I still have not played it. But Mallory has played it a little bit, and I've heard really good things about it. It's one of those things I'll probably get around to. It's just one of those things, gotta get to it sometime. There's too many other games to play.
Oh, I have a question. Will you make more videos like this? I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, well, I mean, every month we do a Q&A, which is sort of like that. The only difference is it's not live. One of the big things for me was that I really wanted everyone to kind of I wanted to do this live Q&A because I wanted people to see how we interacted live, because in my mind it's not any different from when we're not live. I mean, I think sometimes when you watch content on YouTube, you kind of wonder how that person is actually talking. And I think that everyone would say that it's mostly the same for me and Mallory.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that we're really any different. It's not like we have to cut anything out. It's not like we swear profanely on camera all the time. We have to cut it out, or whatever. Insert thing here, insert quirk here. But I think we're pretty much the same.
Do you know about the infinite arrow bow enchantment in Minecraft?
Yeah, we do. Actually, as of right now, we have a level 50 bow sitting in a chest. It unfortunately did not get the infinity arrow enchantment, which sucks. But on episode 94, we'll be showing off some of the stuff that we've been doing. Actually, this is a fun time that I can actually explain this. We've been doing so much off screen, and the reason is we've been playing hours and hours of Minecraft, like insane amounts of Minecraft. We actually built we found a dungeon near the house, and we hollowed out the bottom so all the zombies would fall and only need like a punch or two to kill. And we actually will sit there and let them fill up, and then we'll go down there and kill them to get experience to level up our gear. And there's going to be a lot of leveled up equipment. We already have a level 50 bow. Me and Mallory are both back almost to level 50 again. So we're going to try and level up all of our equipment to level 50 if we can. And if it becomes too hard, like if it's too much, then we'll stop. But I think we can do it. So I'm kind of excited. I think it'll be fun.
Steven, you could choose the last question.
It's all about Steven.
AC Jammer 9 has been asking this question like 100 times. Are you into the paranormal? No. Do you want? I mean, I could go into a lot of stuff related to that. I'm a science guy. I'm a big science guy. So for me to believe in the paranormal is asking a whole lot out of me. So do I believe in ghosts or spirits or anything like that? No, not even in the slightest. Like I said, I'm a big science guy. If there's not solid evidence for something, I'm not really into it. So do I believe in the paranormal? No. Do I believe that Ouija boards do anything? No. Do I believe that the story that your uncle told you is real? No. Your uncle's full of crap. So, yeah. I mean, everyone can think what they want, but I don't know. I'm just a big science nerd, and I like proof and evidence and stuff. So, no paranormal stuff for me. But if you want to believe that, that's cool. And check out Savannah, because they got ghost walks coming out the rear end, man. They
do.
So many ghost walks.
That's what the hearse was that picked you up.
Actually, it was a ghost
tour
thing. So I haven't been haunted, but if I ever become haunted, I'll be sure to let everyone know that I was wrong. So I guess that'll be the last question, and I guess I'll let you conclude it. It is your interview.
Thank you for watching Interview Me, and thank you, Steven and Mallory, for
no problem.
coming on, and I hope to have you guys on again. And I'm thoroughly announcing that I will have Argon Matrix on around the 20th. Depends on how our schedules work out, but my Twitter, if you want to decide to follow, is ewilliams9, and I'll probably have an update of when this is actually going to come out, because I'm more than likely going to have a conversation with Steven after this one. We're all done. Figure out when we're doing all this. And also my YouTube, for those of you who want to see any of the other interviews I've done, it's ewilliams2011.